Facebook campaigns, security, vehicle campaigns, employees, branding, ad serving, training
I want you to have an experience that you will never, ever forget. 30 million books sold, 50 languages, right, John?
Yeah.
And he has been teaching people about leadership for years and around the world. So, John, I'm so pleased to have you as part of our 10X Growth Conference. There's going to be 35,000 people going to be in this conference in Marlin Stadium. We're taking over Miami.
This is fantastic.
And
well, I'm just going to ride shotgun and do my best to add value. That's for sure.
Well, they need you. You provide. When we do these conferences, I try to put together people that fill in the whole picture, John. So the fact that you provide the message that you provide, it's a real gap that I have in my business. And not just at this conference, but going forward into 2019, I look forward to doing more things with you.
Yeah, I do too. Really, I at my age, I really value partnerships because I want to get a lot accomplished, and the best way to get a lot accomplished is come along with other people that are very effective and high influencers and do it together. There's a compounding effect when you start to join other winners and leaders like you and so it's a real honor. It's an honor for me to be with you and to add value, hopefully to you and all the people. We're going to have a great time. And I promise the people, without any question, that when we're done, they'll look at themselves, they'll look at their team and say, this was an investment in my life that and in my team's life that I'm glad I made, no doubt.
So John, when somebody comes to an event like this, because we already have people traveling from over 50 countries.
Beautiful.
What should they be looking for in the event, number one, the 3-day event, and number two, what should they be looking for from John Maxwell and that they can take back home to their business and their families?
Well, first of all, Grant, what they should be looking for is I made a mistake for probably 5 years going to conferences like you're talking here, and that is my first 5 years I went by myself, and then I would go back and I would get my team together and I'd try to transfer what had happened to me to them, and it's just not happened. I mean, I would do it. But I could tell that it wasn't like them being there. And all of a sudden it hit me that if I really want to get the best out of my team is to bring them with me and let them get exposed to the environment and get them exposed to the teaching. And so the first thing I tell people is never come to a conference like this by yourself. I have no idea, unless you don't build teammate people, then you don't want to multiply yourself through others. I suppose, I mean, if you're a toll booth operator, maybe you want to come by yourself. But if you're going to go any higher than that, you really want to bring the people on with you that are going to make a difference. So that's the first thing. So bring somebody with you. Now, the second thing is as far as my contribution to it, I'm known for leadership. That's what I'm known for. But if somebody came and said, John, you're 71, you've had a long, successful run. Why is that? I would say that it's because I, at 25, made a commitment to develop myself personally, to literally be a person of personal growth. Mm-hmm. And I have been intentional in my personal growth for 45 years. And that's the key. When people say, how can you write all those books? It's because I'm always learning, mm-hmm. and I'm always applying to my life, and because I'm having a life change. And people say, well, how can you maintain the level of excellence that you've met? Because I keep learning. I'm not a history teacher about leadership. I'm a living teacher of what I'm learning right now about leadership. And so when I come to that conference, I want to talk to them about personal growth. I would love to talk to them about how to be intentional in their personal growth, how to develop a personal growth plan for themselves, how that personal growth plan. You see, the only guarantee, Grant, that tomorrow is going to get better is that I'm growing today. Mm. So when people come to me and they talk about, wow, I want a better future, I look at it and say, if you want a better future, you start growing and working with yourself really today. You see, we don't determine our future. We determine our habits, and our habits determine our future.
I like that.
Yeah. And the habit that I determined at 25 was that I would daily grow. I would daily personal grow. And so so all the surplus of my life that amazes me, amazes people, but amazes me, it's all because I developed the habit of personal growth. And so I kept learning, kept growing, kept experiencing, kept exposing myself to things that would help me to develop. And I'm still growing. And one other thing on that, Grant, that I want to help people with is the fact that you develop your capacity growth by growing. And so my growth capacity is greater than 99.9% of people I know in the world. And people say, how can you still have this incredible growth, learning, applying capacity? It's very simple. I've done this all my life.
Yeah.
So if a person wants to develop growth capacity, the way to expand it is by doing the habit of personal growth. So that's what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah. So John, what happened at 25 that you started? Because that was my turnaround year too.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I came out of a treatment center for drug addiction. My mom said, hey, you can't come around me anymore. Yeah. And 30 days later, I was in a treatment center. I came out. I never used again. But that's when I dedicated to okay, I got to fix this now. What happened for you at 25?
Well, I had a friend named Kurt Kapmeyer who was having breakfast with me. And he just asked me, he said, what's your plan for growth, John? And I didn't have one. But I didn't have one because I didn't know I was supposed to have one. Nobody ever sat down and said, you're supposed to have a plan for growth. You see, I did what most people do. I assumed that just because I went to work every day that I would grow. That just because I was experiencing life, I would grow. I didn't realize that I had to be intentional with this. And so when he challenged me, he asked me the question, I didn't have a plan. And I went to all my friends, they didn't have a plan. And then all of a sudden it hit me that we kind of assumed that we're going to accidentally get better. And so I said, okay, I've got to find a plan. I've got to develop a plan. And that's exactly what I did. I did that in my life. And one more, this is quick, but this is so essential to me in my formative years. So I heard Earl Nightingale say that if you would spend an hour every day on the same subject for 5 years, you can become an expert on that subject. And so I said, well, I want to be an expert on leadership because that's when I was really buying into the everything rises and falls on leadership stuff. So I literally said, okay, I'll do an hour every day for 5 years on leadership, and then I'll become an expert on it, and I'll be done with that. Now I'll go on something else, I suppose. And so when I started off by basically, counting down 5 years. Okay, now I got 4 years. I got 3 years. I was like Mr. Kate. And then about halfway through this is what's beautiful, Greg. This is what I want the people to come to catch. All of a sudden, there began to be change in my life from the growth that I was putting into my life. I mean, I'm beginning now to inwardly be a new person. And all of a sudden, I went from how long will this take to how far can I go? And what happened to me was that the moment I asked the question, how far could I go? Then nobody ever had to motivate me again to spend time in personal growth because I'm still asking that question. I'm 71. I'm still saying, how far can I go? There's no finish line. The only finish line a person has is one that they make. Yeah. And if I make a finish line and say at this age I'm done or I'm through with my career, whatever, if I make a finish line, the good news is I cross it. The bad news is I'm finished. And I said, I'm never going to do that. That's not where I'm going to be. And so I'm today still a product of that question: how far can I go? And I don't know how far I can go. My companies are doing better than they've ever done before. We're reaching more people than we've ever done before. We're doing some incredible partnerships like we've never done before. And I have no idea how far I can go, but I know this: I can go a lot farther than I am, and it's all because of personal growth. And that's what I want to talk to people. If they will make a commitment to grow personally in their life and make that a habit in their life, they will have it.
So, John, this audience, let me just tell you, I know you've been on a lot of stages, thousands and thousands. You've been to thousands and thousands. I promise you, when you walk off, you'll be like, that is the single best audience I've ever been in front of in my life.
Come on, baby. Come on.
I guarantee you, my friend. Yes. I'll buy you a condo in Miami if it doesn't happen, okay?
Okay. So don't you think at 71 I ought to experience that? Huh? The greatest audience I've ever had.
You're going to meet. First of all these people pay. There's nobody walking in the room free except for about a couple thousand firemen and policemen that we gave seats to.
That's beautiful.
Everybody pays. Everybody pays. Everybody comes with the intention to learn. All these people are committed. These people do not need motivation. These people are trying to 10x their businesses. We're not trying to change their state. We're not gonna try any gimmicks to get people excited. We're like, hey, you're here to get strategies to 10x wherever you are. You're making $100,000. We want to measure something in money, in financial growth. And because you talked about that, you talk about the surpluses of your life. Can you talk about how important it is to have surpluses in life?
Well, it is. In fact, I was in a conversation today. I'm in Birmingham, Alabama, and I was just I was on stage with Patrick Lencioni, Patrick, and Chris Hodges, who's built an incredible work here in Birmingham. And we were just talking about surplus. We were talking about margins. Uh-huh. And what happens is if you and I have margins in our life, whether it's financial margins and surplus, or whether it's the fact that we have a farm team for leaders, so when we need leaders, we got leaders to put in that position. Whenever we develop abundance and a surplus in life, what the great advantage of it is that when opportunity comes to us, we can immediately take advantage of it. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. My mentor John Wooden used to say, when opportunity comes, it's too late to prepare.
Right.
And so with surplus, when this opportunity comes, I can immediately say, okay, we're going to go do that. Okay, we're going to take advantage of that. And so with scarcity, when I don't have surplus, when I don't have margins, positive margin, when I don't have abundance, when opportunity comes, it doesn't matter. I can't do anything about it. I have nothing to give. I have nothing to share. I don't have the resources. I don't have the manpower. And that's one of the things that we've done. I have a coaching company called the John Maxwell Team, and we have 21,000 coaches in 150 countries in the world now.
It's amazing, man.
And that's all surplus, Graham. These are all, what these people are? These are legs to my legacy.
Yeah. Wow, love that.
Yeah. And so as I begin to say, let's go forward in this way, I can mobilize thousands and thousands of people to carry that, because legacy is not in an organization or a building; it's in people.
Yeah.
And so I tell people all the time, you need to constantly have a surplus of resources, a surplus of people, so that when the advantage comes to you and you have that opportunity, you can seize it right there.
Yeah. So John, you're not just saying surplus of finances, which I spend a lot of time talking about. You're talking about, I need people, I need energy, I need connections, I need to be known in the world.
Oh yeah. See, because one of our missions is to help countries have a positive transformation, and so we go into countries invited by the president of those countries, and we go through the 7 streams of influence. And we teach values in small groups and around tables, and we're having huge success. But to do that, you got to have a lot of foot soldiers. You got to have a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And so we're constantly in our strategy in all of our companies. We're constantly saying, okay, how are we raising leaders? Do we have enough for the next challenge, for the next vision? And we're constantly, because we want to move fast. We want to move fast. There used to be in 10 years ago, there was a first, second, third. Things move so fast anymore, Grant. There's no second and third, just first.
Yeah, that's right.
You just either got there and got it, and everybody else said what happened, or you didn't get there, and you're asking on the outside asking what happened.
So John, hey, I just can't tell you, the first person that I wanted at this conference. We've done 3 of these now. Each one, the first one was 2,000 people. The last one was 10,000. This is 35,000.
Come on.
These people have integrity. We were in Vegas last year. Mandalay Bay came up to me and said, hey, what are you doing to these people? I said, what do you mean? He's like, we have the lowest bar tabs for 10,000 people of any conference we've ever had here. He's like, what do you have these people on that they don't want to drink at night? And I'm like, look, they're here to grow their businesses. So you're going to be in front of an audience, and I know you've done some of the best audiences in the world. Values are important to these people. Community is important. Being charitable, growing their businesses. So I can't think of a better person than John Maxwell to come in and talk about leadership. And 30 years, I guess almost 50 years now you've been doing this.
Yeah, I'm old. Hey,
no, but I mean,
that's another definition for legend, old.
But John, the other thing is, like, the thing that you talk about, the thing that you're talking about today with me, time does not change. Leadership is required regardless of the telecommunication source.
That's exactly right. And one of the things that we'll teach is that consistency compounds.
Uh-huh.
And so if a person can find their passion and put their gifts to that passion and then stay in that sweet spot, it just compounds, just like money compounds and interest. It compounds. I'm looking forward to being at this greatest audience I've ever spoken to conference, but I'm also looking forward to getting with you.
Yeah.
And knowing you better and finding out how I can serve you. Because let me tell you something, my friend. We've got something together that we can offer people that would make a huge difference.
I agree. I feel that with you just talking to you right now. And so anything I can do for you between now and then, John, or your group, anything I can do at all, let me know. And
no, I'll be ready. I'm going to come ready to share and add value and help everybody. That's what I do.
Hey, God bless you, my friend. Again, thank you so much for being willing to do this. Your organization has been phenomenal. We work with a lot of people. The group's been great. That says a lot about you. So again, God bless you. Appreciate you so much.
I'll see you soon, and I'll see all of you soon. You don't want to miss it. We'll have a great
10X Growth Conference, folks. Okay, and get as close to this man as you can. Get as close to the field and the stage. John, I got this will be I guarantee you. Now, I make a lot of big claims. You know, I'm a sales guy, right? So, but I deliver. 30 years I've been delivering to people. Otherwise, they'll be like, hey. I think the screens behind you are going to be 60 feet tall and 150 feet wide.
That's great for target practice, Fred.
Yeah, John Maxwell is going to be large in Miami.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you. It's my privilege. It's my honor.
Thank you, my friend. Okay. 10xgrowthconference.com/tickets. Grab yours. Get your seat. Get on the field. John Maxwell is going to share with you and your team. And by the way, he said, don't come by yourself. Come with another. That's going to exponentially grow what you get out of this. Thank you, John.
Enjoy the ride. Facebook campaigns, security, campaigns in place, branding, ad serving, training.
I want you to have an experience that you will never, ever forget. I want you to have an experience that you will never, ever forget. We want to make this a big event for you. Our goal is to change your lives. This is what you have to go through. Anybody can be 1X or 2X. To get to these multipliers, I mean, to blow the roof off of your life and career to 10X in your business.
The greatest entrepreneurial conference on the planet.
Last year, I was in the negative, and now I'm here, man. I turned my business around, and now I'm trying to get to that next level.
We went from sleeping on an office floor 6 years ago to now running a multi-million-pound business, all from grants material.
Give it a loud
10X your lives. 10X the lives of the people around you. Give more than you take, and I promise you, you will get more than you ever dreamed of.
Dude, I am so excited to have you here at this conference.
I'm really appreciative, man. Really excited about it, and just honored to be a part of it, man.
Yeah, so just so my audience knows who you are, you want to just tell a little story about some of the few successes.
Yep.
A dude like you, and you always wear a T-shirt, right?
Yeah, man, I earned that right.
Yeah,
that's why I got into the entrepreneur game.
But dude, I saw you wearing a tux on Instagram the other night. You were doing some kind of.
I got asked to MC Ted Turner's 80th birthday.
Oh,
there were presidents and dignitaries there, man. I had to abide by the dress code.
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell me about some of your successes. I know what they are, but.
Yeah, no. I had a very unconventional journey as an entrepreneur. I started out in the music business as a rapper, believe it or not. That didn't work out so great for me. And then I started writing jingles. That didn't work out great for me. And I slept on 18 couches between the ages of 19 and 22 before I finally kind of found my, where the right path was for me. And I had a private jet company called Marquis Jet. We did $5 billion in sales. We sold it to Warren Buffett's company. Then I had a coconut water company called Zico. We sold it to Coca-Cola. I had a #1 selling book, Living with the Seal. I've had egg on my face.
Oh, dude.
Along the
Okay,
way,
but hang on, bro. Hang on. See, that's why I want you at this thing. Forget the 35,000 people that are going to be there. I'm bringing you because I want to know, when you saw the Marquis Jet thing, did you know Buffett was a target?
Yeah, because initially we started a private jet company with no aviation experience and no airplanes. And we built it to the world's largest private jet card company. We had the most customers of any company probably ever. And the only way that we could get into the game was to get access to airplanes. So we had to cut a deal. Basically, we had to convince a guy named Rich Santulli, who was the CEO of NetJets, and Warren Buffett, who owned NetJets, that two 29-year-old kids could, with just an idea, were worthy of, using their fleet to build our company. And they gave us a shot, I think never thinking that it would work the way it worked. And like I said, we ended up doing $5 billion in sales and building this amazing company. And, Grant, honestly, the best thing about Marquis Jet wasn't the success of the business, although that was amazing and life-changing for me, but it introduced me to the 4,000 of the who's who of pop culture, business, influence, and I got to intimately talk to these people, meet them, build my own personal network at a young age, and that was the best gift of all.
So are you saying if you had to go back and Buffett said, look, I'll give you the money or I'll give you the network? How much money were you talking about at 29?
Listen, that's a tough question.
No, but which one? And he says you
got
got 5 seconds to make a decision, Jesse. Which one are you going to take?
I'll take the journey, man, to be honest with you. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm all about building my life resume, building my personal resume, and I want, I don't want to hand me out. I want the journey. It feels better when you earn it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And there were a lot of times where I didn't think it was going to work. I think as an entrepreneur, you go through this cycle up and down, and part of the journey is a process where you have to literally, one of the steps is this isn't going to work. It's your own self-doubt. And I had to break through that. There were months where we had no sales. And, it's just believing in yourself and calling an audible and making a little plot twist along the way to get to where you want to go.
And I mean, there are times when it's not working, right?
Absolutely. A lot of times.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, you have to call audibles. And listen, I believe you have to have, as an entrepreneur, a lot of flexibility. A lot goes wrong. And what you sign up for is, people think you have to have a passion for what you're selling, and you do, but the real passion is for the process. And when things go wrong, I would constantly remind myself, this is what I signed up for. When all my friends were at happy hour and I had to go and greet someone at an airplane 2 hours away just to shake their hand, that's what I signed up for.
Right.
And there was a constant reminder throughout my journey that this is what it takes, and this is what it is.
Yeah. So Jesse, what kept you going? What kept you going in those times? Like, is there some money motivation? 29 years old. Is there a score that you're looking for?
There was a score. Of course, there was a score,
Yeah.
and of course, I was driven by the pot of gold at the end of the tunnel. But the real motivator was my own. Was just challenging myself. It was me versus me. It was me wanting to prove to myself that all the naysayers were wrong, that, a kid that had no airplanes, that started out as a kiddie pool attendant, could make this happen. And it was just my own personal drive. I don't think you can do it without that.
Yeah.
If you and whatever you have to do to pull that drive or that reserve tank out of you, you have to rely on it. I had a million techniques that I relied on. If I got bullied as a kid, that would come into my head. If there was a teacher that said I sucked, that would come into my head. If my parents told me that would come into my head. If I wanted to get the girl, that would come into my head. Everything got channeled to get to the finish line.
Yeah. So it sounds like you really access the network. I mean, I keep hearing, You
I
either
did.
used the new network or even the negative network.
Without question. And listen, when you get a 980 on your SATs, you got to rely on your network.
Is a
You know?
980 good or bad?
It's like you write your name and you get less than half the questions right, I think.
Oh, okay. I don't even know, man. Okay. So,
Yeah.
why should somebody leave their home and travel to Miami for a conference?
Well, I could say that I was at one of your events and I took about 7 pages of notes and made a lot of great connections. And I honestly mean that. When I speak at these things, I usually don't stay for the whole thing. I got 4 young kids I want to get back to. But I really honestly took a lot of notes. And I think this is going to be an amazing networking opportunity. The lineup is ridiculous and there's diversity.
Yeah.
So
You
I
like
think
my diversity?
No, there's diversity in everyone. Everyone that's coming up to speak has had a different, unique journey.
Yeah.
So they're going to offer different and unique nuggets. And when I go to these kind of things, it's like there might not be one specific like silver bullet that's going to change your life. You pick up the nuggets and you try them. You take the ones that work. You get rid of the ones that don't. But you listen. You get the inspiration, and it lives in your subconscious. So I'm glad that you've assembled such a unique, diverse group, and again, from different sectors. And that's what's really exciting for me.
Hey, this guy has sold a company to Warren Buffett, Marquis Jets. He sold a company to Coca-Cola. Did that have anything to do with Buffett's connection with Coca-Cola? Did you use that, access that?
Not at all.
He's got a #1 best-selling book on LA Times, and #1 at Amazon, #1 at iTunes, and Living with Monks, both the Seal book. The Seal book was called
Living with the Seal.
Living with the Seal, and then there's Living with the Monks, and then I'm sure you're going to do one, Living with the Spanx.
Now I might come live with you, Grant. The way you're making money, I might come live with you.
Dude, I like that. I'd love to live with you, man.
I know. If I live with you, we'd add an extra 0 next to the 10.
Dude, I like that.
100x.
I like that. I like
You
that.
got
I can't
extra
wait
room?
to spend time with you. Somebody said, hey, how do you pick your speakers? I said, what I do is I make a list of people. We've been working on this since last February. I make a list of speakers that I want to spend more time with. So I'm hoping you that make some extra time so you don't just bounce. Because I truly want everybody there, Steve Harvey, John Maxwell, your wife, Sara Blakely. I really do want to get to know you guys. And I guess I could have just flown to Atlanta and had coffee with you.
This is better. I love it, man. I really am super grateful. Sarah and I are really excited to be there. Sarah doesn't do a lot of speaking. And we're really excited to be a part of it. And you've built an amazing community.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. And I can't wait to see you. When are you guys getting in, or you don't even know yet?
Thursday.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
coming a day early.
Okay, don't tell anybody where you're staying because you'll be mobbed.
Staying at your house.
Yeah, you can. You can. We'd love to have you. The city of Miami says we are going to affect the economic, what is it called? The economic, the stimulus by $125 million. That's more than the Miami Dolphins do, by the way. And they'll be all winners in the arena. Have you ever been to the Marlins Stadium by any chance?
I have. I don't think I have.
Beautiful place. Wait till you see this, man. Wait till you see the stage that I have set up for you.
Man, I love it. I can't wait. I'm excited to see everybody there, and just going to try to, share a lot of the things that happened to me along the way, and help people as best that I can on their own journeys.
Your story is so relatable, and it helped me. Like when I was listening to you when we worked together, it was like I said, "Wow, man, I need to start thinking bigger about connections." And you were seriously connected.
Yes.
So
yeah,
I'm going to be calling on you in the next year about helping me with some things I'm working on. All right.
All right. I love that, man. I see a little airplane on the side of your table.
Yeah. We got this recently.
I like that. I recognize that.
Yeah, that's my new bird. So, okay, Jesse, can't wait to see you, man. We're on the countdown now, 45 days or something. Jesse Isler is going to be speaking at the 10X Growth Conference. Sara Blakely, his wife, who's not done too badly for herself. Were you guys hooked up before or after her success?
She was a customer of mine at Marquis Jet. So we met at a poker event in Vegas, and got married a year later.
Oh,
so
wow.
Yeah.
And had she done Spanx yet?
She was in the middle of her journey, and I was in the middle of my journey at Marquis Jet. I had no idea what Spanx was. I had no idea what she did.
Yeah.
And
but were you guys balling yet? I mean, had you hit it? Had you both hit it, or you were just on the upward journey, or where were you in the process?
I was starting to get really comfortable. We were starting to get a lot of momentum, and Sara was, she was profitable from day one. The first month of business, she had she started a company with $5,000. She has no investors, no partners, and never advertised. She didn't have the luxury of not making money right away.
Wow.
So her first year, she had a great year, and she got on Oprah. She'll share her story at the conference, but she didn't have the luxury of not making money. So at this point of her journey, a couple of years in, she was already mega successful. I didn't have a clue how successful she was until a couple of weeks before we got married, but which is another story she can share on stage.
Yeah.
She's built an amazing empire.
Yeah. That's all, both of you guys, man. Both of you guys, like in your own rights, have just done amazing. So I can't wait, man. I'm so excited, buddy. I appreciate it. Appreciate your time. Get your ticket, folks, okay? Get as close to this guy as you can, as far as you can move to the front of the stage. How important is it, Jesse, to get access to networking and the proximity?
I mean, I built my whole career on it. Yeah. I think it's very important. I think, I wish I had the opportunity to go to these kind of events when I was younger, because I had to make so many mistakes along the way until I figured it out. And it took me years, It wasn't like I didn't wake up and it took me years and failures and eggs on my face and embarrassment and all of that. I didn't have the luxury of being able to go and meet, a dozen experts. They're going to walk me through it, and give me the tricks. I didn't get to start on second or third base.
Right.
So, I think, and look, let me just say this. Even to this day, at this point in my life, I invest a lot. I have coaches. I go to seminars. I watched 4 documentaries last week. I'm still trying to learn. I'm still trying to, add as much mentorship into my life as I can. It never ends.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people think it does. So
no.
Okay, my friend.
Gandhi said, live like you're gonna die tomorrow. Learn like you're gonna live forever.
I love that. Okay, Jesse, I'll see you in about 45 days, buddy.
Okay, man. I can't wait.
Okay, tell Sarah hello for me.
Will do, man.
All right.
See you soon.
It's awesome. Okay, guys, it's going to be great. 10xgrowthconference.com. He told you like it was. The lineup is so diverse. Okay, he's excited about the lineup. A lot of these speakers are telling me I'm coming in for the whole thing. Grab your seat. It's a great Christmas present. Okay, you could give somebody pajamas. Or you could give them a seat at the 10x Growth Conference. See you there.
I was bored. I was lazy, not doing anything, sleeping, and not doing what I have to do. Grant Cardone changed my life.
I want to showcase your success at Growth Conference 3.
I promise you it'll change your life.
When I met him, my entire life got better. He makes people better. He's a magnifier.
It was so empowering. It was so inspirational. And my husband and I will walk away from the Growth Con, changed forever.
I would say to you from all over the world, come to the next 10X conference.
I want you to have an experience that you will never, ever forget. We want to make this a big event for you. Our goal is to change your lives. This is what you have to go through. Anybody can be 1X or 2X. To get to these multipliers, to blow the roof off of your life and career to 10X in your business.
The greatest entrepreneurial conference on the planet.
Last year, I was in the negative, and now I'm here, man. I turned my business around, and now I'm trying to get to that next level.
We went from sleeping on an office floor 6 years ago to now running a multi-million-pound business, all from grants material.
Give it up,
10X your lives. 10X the lives of the people around you. Give more than you take, and I promise you, you will get more than you ever dreamed of.
Good. How's business, man? Things good?
It's insane. Yeah, we just 2 days ago passed 100 million for the year, which is our new record. So freaking out. Great year for us.
Wow, good for you, dude.
That's good. How about things on your side?
Bro, just like ridiculous. Like, had the biggest year I've ever had.
Very cool.
We launched our non-accredited fund.
Uh-huh.
That thing's ridiculous. Raised $15 million in 5 days.
Dang, that's cool.
Yeah.
15 million in 5 days?
Yep.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's not open yet, so we haven't opened to the public. It's just kind of like to my followers. It's non-accredited, so we've raised over about 115 million this year, and just this is the first time I've offered it $10,000. It all goes into real estate, so I'm not selling my company. We're buying assets with it, right?
Yeah.
So that'll be really interesting to see how big I can grow that.
That's so cool. So fascinating. That's the whole world I don't understand yet at all. I just didn't give you my money so you can figure out how to turn it into more money.
Yeah, dude. It just has babies. The money, the cash you're not using, Russell. It's like all I'm doing is buying assets that can't be replaced in the next 5 to 10 years.
Uh-huh.
Like we just bought 88 acres of property in Austin. It's $101 million. I already know who's going to buy it from me later. I mean, I already got guys that they're like, just give us till 2023, and this is we're buyers for it. They have funds, right? They have money they have to move into these assets. The fund is described to buy an asset like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I just bought a $70 million deal in Houston. We know who the buyer is going to be on that. Every one of these deals, I'm basically buying stuff. Blackstone's on the deal, and I'm on the deal, and I just move faster than Blackstone does. So there's still buyers for it 5 years from now. So we just get the cash flow, wait for the rents to improve it,
and flip it. That's cool.
And then somebody else comes in and buys. It's not really a flip. It's just it's a good, solid, long-term investment.
Mm.
All right, so you ready?
No. Try to get it.
Just pull like a phone hacking video or something.
Send me $1 million before the end of the year, dude, and I'll get it to work.
When do I get it back?
You'll start getting payments. You'll start getting distributions on it next month.
Really? How does that, what does that look like?
About 5% a year, 5 to 6% a year.
Uh-huh. And
then we sit and wait.
I'm so bad at investing stuff. I know my return on my ad spend, but I don't know my return on investment.
So you right now you're earning maybe 0.012% at the bank. National average is under 0.02 of 1%.
Really?
So
5%
this
is freaking amazing.
Huh?
5% is amazing.
Well, it's 20 times what you're earning at the bank. Dude, your money's sitting in the bank just like, that's just, it's dying, bro.
Okay, send me the paperwork. Let's make it happen. I'm in.
Let's go. Russell Brunson is now a partner in Cardone Capital. Okay, guys, I have with me, a good friend, a partner. We do events together. I love this guy, Russell Brunson. If you don't know who this dude is, you have to know him. His company just broke $100 million this year, right here in December. 250,000 copies of his books have been distributed on marketing, digital marketing, sales funnels. He's made millionaires. This guy literally makes millionaires. I was just asking him, what are you doing with all your money? He's like, man, I'm so busy making other people rich, I ignore my own money. Russell, great to have you here today.
Awesome to have you, man. I cannot wait to give you my money so you can turn it into more money. It's going to be amazing.
That will happen. But so, hey, look, man, you are on the front lines of everything to do with funnels.
Yeah,
and
it's crazy because we have as of actually I have the board out here. We have 72,000 active members in ClickFunnels right now. So we have a chance to see what everybody is doing, what's working, what's not working, who's scaling the fastest, who's struggling. Like, it's amazing how much data we're able to see every single day with all the funnels across the whole internet. It's awesome.
And what are you seeing?
It's interesting. It's like, I always think that like there's 1,000 different ways to do funnels, but like I think last we checked, like 89% of all sales are happening through like 3 really simple funnels. And so it's not like a million different things. It's like just becoming really good at like the 3 core things that drive most of the revenue, most of the leads. And when you understand that, it's like, oh, this is not this complicated game. People think it's complicated because it's internet, but it's really, really simple when you understand it. Just like, oh, that's the funnel for my business. I need to get more leads or to make more sales or whatever the thing might be.
Yeah. So, and just so in case you guys are not coming to the 10X Growth Conference, Russell, you won't see what we did, but the 2 of us got together and said, hey, what could we do and show in Miami? By the way, I was in the stadium 2 days ago. Freaking stupid. Okay. And I thought about you. I said, how good is Russell Brunson going to be on this 10X stage with 9,000 square feet? How big's your home?
11. So
yeah. I have almost 11,000 square feet of LED panels behind you. So amazing. That big head of yours is just going to get freaking monstrous.
Oh, that's crazy. I still can't believe, like, I told you guys at 10X last year, like, when you told me, like, yeah, we're going to do an event and have 9,000 people, I was like, that's not reality. I don't think that was possible. And I remember walking the first day and I was like, I don't know how you did it. And then when you told me this time, like, we have 35,000, I was like, if anyone can do it, the only person I know who I think could do it is you. Like, I don't know how you even did the 9,000, let alone this next one.
So whether you guys are coming or not, if you're not coming, if you can't make it there, you hadn't booked your hotel or whatever, you got whatever reason that you can't be down there. I called Russell about, I guess 2 months ago now and said, hey, let's meet some city and let's fly somewhere. And in midair, we're going to create a funnel for me. And then we're going to show the results of that funnel. You want to just talk a little bit about that without giving it all away, Russell?
Yeah. And I don't think we had this evil plan going into it that we didn't want to tell you till we were up in the air, because your plan was like, let's build a funnel in the air, 50,000 feet in the air. I was like, sweet. So we got up in the air and then we're like, all right, Grant, we keep telling everyone how simple funnels are. You're going to be building it. And you're like, no, I don't want to do it. And we're like, no, you have to do it. So we sat you down at the computer and you literally built the funnel. I saw you moving things around and typing headlines, and we got video footage to prove that you actually built the funnel. Like, it's not actually, what was the experience like? Was it easy? Was it hard? How'd you feel?
No. And this goes to exactly what you were saying about the 3 ways, and it's not as complicated, but I think I was doing that in my head thinking, oh my God, this is going to be really complicated. And what you demonstrated there was, this is not something your company had to do for me. This is something all you told me to do was, there it is. And that was beautiful, by the way, because you taught me that I can do this.
Yeah.
And in fact, I was in here yesterday working on a funnel, and I was going in there banging it out because I had that one experience of, hey, I can do this.
I was telling people, as soon as you do it once, the first time, you're like, oh my gosh. I always tell people it feels like most entrepreneurs or business owners feel handcuffed, right? To the tech person who's like, it changes like, it's gonna be hard. Oh, it's an extra $4,000, I'll do that. And you feel handcuffed. As soon as you log in ClickFunnels the very first time, it's like breaking the handcuffs, and you drag something, you move, and you're like, it moved. I didn't pay anyone nothing for that. Like, it moved and looks amazing. And like, you have ideas, you can do it without having to be like, it's not.
Yeah. And my ideas are always the best anyway. So, you can put whatever you want in there or call it or describe it. I'm like, no, it needs to say this. And really the business owner probably does know. I mean, the entrepreneur at the core, before it becomes a big organization, probably knows better what it could say or might say, or at least wants to test than somebody that just works for you. You agree with that?
Especially if you're in sales, right? Because think about, most people are selling, like, you're face-to-face with customers all day. So you know, like, what the concerns are, things like that. So it's just, you're transferring that online. In fact, we have one of our ClickFunnels members, her name's Jamie Cross. She sells soap, but she spent 4 years at farmer markets selling soap. And she was like, everyone would come up and she like tried a concern and then she tried another concern. She started figuring out her pitch and how she got it to work. She spent 4 years mastering her pitch, right? Yeah. And then she came over and learned about funnels. And so she just took the same pitch she did at the farmer's market, made a video, put it on a page, launched it. First 6 weeks at $160,000. Within 4 months, passed $1 million in sales. And it was like, she just replicated herself. She wasn't there pitching it every single day. She did her pitch she'd mastered once, stepped away, and now the funnel closed the sales for her 24 hours a day, 7 days a week while she's on vacation. And that's the biggest thing for your audience. Like, everyone there are like the best salespeople in the world. It's like, you know your pitch, you know what's going to sell it. You just got to take that, do it once, and then set up the funnel, and you step away, and that thing's selling for you while you're on vacation. And that's
Dude, I love that. I love that. And now she's got farmers market 24/7, 365, and anywhere in the world, right?
100%. Yeah.
So in the pitch, when you talk about the pitch, Russell, when I hear you say the pitch, I'm like, the only really way, like when I sat down and did that at 51,000 feet and we're going 600 miles an hour across the sky with no planning, like nothing. We just took one book and said, okay, we're going to create a funnel.
Yep.
I wasn't thinking about, I need to come up with some sexy, catchwords or phrases. All I started thinking about were things like, hey, why did I write this book? What did this book do for me? What has it done for other people? Like, it wasn't like a sales thing. It was more like what somebody gets as a result of the soap, the book, or whatever your product is.
Yeah, it's just like, I always tell people, it's basically, imagine like you're at the airport, somebody like sits down, like, what do you do? And you're like, oh, I wrote this book. Like, well, why should they care? And you just tell them, just like you're talking to a human. Like, people think for some reason sales funnel makes it like this cryptic, weird thing, but it's like, no, it's just communication. It's just what we already do anyway. And most of us know how to sell our product anyway, right? It's just taking that, but then it takes you out of the process, which it clones yourself, right? Like, how many of you guys have said in your life, like, now if I can just clone myself, if I have 3 or 5 or 10 of me doing this, I make way more money, but I'm stuck because there's only X amount of hours a day. And that's what this does. It breaks you free from that. And that's what makes it magic.
And so, dude, you're coming back to my conference, okay? I'm going to give you 35,000 entrepreneurs to speak at, and speak with. How exciting is that for you to have an audience that big?
I literally am so spoiled. I never want to go anywhere else besides your event. Like, it's insane. It's so cool. And like, just the energy, like I remember at last 10X walking in the room, like the energy, you could feel like it was like palatable. You could feel this like, oh my gosh, there's something happening here. And like that energy causes momentum. And you've seen that over the last year since last 10X, right? People that went, they experienced it, the momentum they have now, and you see them crushing records, you see them breaking through all their barriers. And I can't imagine that now at 35,000 people, like it's insane. I'm so honored.
Do you think the bigger thing is better, or do you get concerned that it gets too big? Have you guys had any of those private conversations like, hey, does it lose some of the intimacy for you as a guy on stage? Or
I've heard people say stuff like that. I don't know if that's true. You know, I think I don't know, for me, like the events, there's a couple of things you get from an event, right? Number one is like you're coming to learn new stuff, right? And you still get the same stuff when you're on stage. Number two, though, it's like it's the networking, and like more people to network with is better. And then number three is just like the belief, and like there's something about the more people in the room, like it's easier to believe, like, oh my gosh, it's not just me. Most of us, right, in our personal lives, when we go home at night, at least for me, like I love my wife, but she has no idea what I do. My friends are like confused, like, why are you always doing this stuff? Like entrepreneurship a lot of times is like the loneliest job in the world. And you come to an event like this and you're looking around, you see all these people, you're like, oh my gosh, these people are just like me. And like for most of you guys, your new friends, your family members, things like that are going to be made at the events, because it's like people who think the way you do, have vision like you do. And it's hard to find those people typically in your circles. And so I think it's good having more people there. That's my thoughts.
I do too. Like if you could give me 3 million people, I would rather, the more the better, because now I have a better chance, particularly if they're all coming with a similar mindset. And you've done a lot of different groups in a lot of different countries. I know you have. The 10X mentality is everybody's coming there to, I want a funnel. I want to expand. I want to like multiply myself. So how different was that audience for you last year in Vegas as opposed to other audiences?
You've done such a good job, like training the audience. I think just the 10X mindset is different than a lot of events you go to. People are like, I'm going to see if I can increase my sales this year by 10%. Like that's the mindset going into it, which is like, if you're trying for 10, you hit 6, like that's horrible. You come in the different mindset, you got everyone coming in like, we're trying to 10X.
Yeah.
And even if you missed the 10X and you hit 6X, like, holy crap. But you missed the 10X, you hit 2X. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, people are coming, playing at a different level, expecting a different level. And because of that, like everyone rises together a lot faster.
And it's easier to network when the like-mindedness is expansion and you're not having to fight up against when's enough, and I just want to settle out and I want to be cool. And
yeah,
look, you've made a lot of millionaires, dude. Let me get from you 35,000 people. How many millionaires do you think we can make in that room in Miami for 2019? Give me a number, dude. Give me a number.
Well, so my event, we have about 4,000 people, which I was really proud of till you smashed through it with yours. And we have about 500. So like, what's that? 10% of the audience right now? Is that right? So 500
yeah, 9%.
About 10%. So if we get 35,000, 10% is what, 3,500?
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. How many? 3,500?
Be 10%. So like that.
What are you going to do to the millionaires that are there though?
What's that?
What are you going to do for the millionaires that are coming?
We'll take from 1 million to 10, and then 10 to like it's all about the phases, right?
Yeah.
When people first meet me, I'm like, where are you at? They're like, I'm at whatever. It's like, hey, let's get to 1 million as quick as we can. And we get to 1 million, it's like, what's the next goal? Boom, 10 to 100. And what's cool about, a lot of people try to find mentors online. I think what's unique about me, unique about you, is that we are far down the path. Like we've gone from 0 to 1 million, we've gone from 1 million to 10, 10 to 100. Like there's not many people that have evolved that way. And as you know, like the evolution, like the stuff you have to understand to go from 0 to 1 million is different than 1 million to 10 and different from 10 to 100, right? Different skill sets, different things that happen. And so a lot of times people go to like try to learn something and they're learning like this fraction of the equation, and they're learning that piece and it gets them like a little bump, but then they struggle after that because the person that they're mentoring them never got to hear.
Right.
So it's like, that's what's unique is like the people you're bringing have been here. And so it's like, we're laying out a path that's going to get you not just like, oh, I had a little bit of an increase, I figured out the one trick. It's like, no, like shift the core fundamental beliefs and understanding, and then you can get to where we are as well. And we're trying to stay, I know my plan is always stay ahead of my audience. I think you're the same way, which is exciting is we're always evolving, and then you can evolve and keep following us on the journey.
And Russell's going to be there for you the entire event. So we have Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have Russell slotted for multiple presentations to you to talk about what's going on in 2019, what people are doing. He's got massive test groups that he's done this with. And so, Russell, man, I really appreciate you coming down, being part of 10X and being willing to help so many people expand their businesses.
Oh, man, thanks for letting me be there. I'm excited. And we filmed the entire experience of Grant building his funnel up in the plane. And so I'm going to show some of that footage on stage as well, so you guys can experience that and all the amazingness and be able to see the funnel that he built. And the numbers behind it. And, and my goal is for you all to, at the time that it's done, be like, oh my gosh, we can do this. We have to do it. Like, if we honestly want to 10X our company, this is the piece we need to be able to really scale and grow. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And we're going to show everybody, by then we'll have the numbers, right, Jared? We'll have the numbers to say, hey, this is what we did. This is what we spent. This is what it produced. It either worked or it didn't work. We'll tell you exactly what it was. And maybe we had to tweak it. Maybe we had to change it, but at least we have literally, in the period of time, where were we flying from? Fort Lauderdale to where?
Chicago, wasn't it?
Yeah, Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, in under 3 hours. I think it was, how long was the flight?
I don't remember.
2.5 hours. It was fast.
Yeah.
Because it goes fast. So in 2.5 hours, we had a funnel built. I don't think we spent more than 30 minutes on the thing.
Yeah, it goes quick.
So then we drop it. We're online with a new footprint. I need a lot of those. How many funnels do you think a company needs? Russell, is there?
I've got a lot. I think every single person should build out a team. And I'm going to talk about that at the event, but like everyone should build a funnel team so you can bust out a lot of funnels. Each funnel for me targets a different segment of the audience, right? So if I have customers like these type of customers, I have a funnel for each type of customer I'm trying to bring in.
Yeah.
So depending on the business, but at least one, I'd say most probably 3 to 5 or more. And companies like me and you, dozens.
Yeah, Jared, I'm asking Jared right now. He doesn't know.
I mean, we have like 5 main ones.
Yeah. We got more than 5, man. Stop the madness, man. Multiple flows, folks. You need multiple flows. Russell's going to become an investor at Cardone Capital. Said, send me the paperwork.
Close me live on the air.
Yeah. So, okay, dude, I cannot wait to be with you. Look, let me just tell you what I love about Russell Brunson. This is a family dude. Okay. You can see him hanging out with his family. He's young. He's a good dude. He's just a good dude. He's a good, fun dude. You're not going to get in trouble with him. Okay. I mean, that's really important for me. I want to be around people I can have fun with, but there's no, like this isn't going to get ugly because I've been around, I spent enough time with it going that way. Russell is successful. Russell has money. Russell has a real company. Russell's trying real things every day, and he's willing to be transparent and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. So for me, those are the guys I want to surround myself with. We do the 10X Growth Conference so that I get to have people come and mentor me. So the price for me is a $10 million event. I get to put my name on it, but I get to have who I want there for as long as I want there. So we're hoping, Russell and I both are hoping all of you, the right people that want to expand their business, want to grow your business, that the internet's a real deal, it's not going away and you got to be there. We want you to come. We want you to be there. Come with an open mind. Come with your families. And Russell will be there to help you, to assist you in any way possible. You don't have to buy a funnel from him, right, Russell?
Yeah. I'm bringing my whole community. We got 1,000 people coming with me as well. That's how much I believe in it. We're bringing my entire community coming.
Dude, I love that. I love that. Dude, you're a good dude, bro. That's why I like hanging out with you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. You're a ton of fun too.
Okay, let's make everybody that comes to the 10X Growth Conference, let's make them all millionaires.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Except the millionaires.
We'll make them 10X millionaires.
Yeah, let's make them, you know, I don't want to buy that business and become a millionaire. It's like, how do you become a millionaire? Shooting geese on the weekends? Start as a billionaire. Okay, Russell, I'll see you, bro. I'll see you February 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. All right, let's keep tuning my little thing up so we can show some massive results.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you. Thanks so much.
All right, brother. Thank you.
I want you to have an experience that you will never, ever forget. We want to make this a big event for you. Our goal is to change your lives. This is what you have to go through. Anybody can be 1X or 2X. To get to these multipliers, I mean, to blow the roof off of your life and career to 10X in your business.
The greatest entrepreneurial conference on the planet.
Last year, I was in the negative, and now I'm here, Mac. I turned my business around, and now I'm trying to get to that next level.
We went from sleeping on an office floor 6 years ago to now running a multi-million pound business, all from grants material.
10X your lives. 10X the lives of the people around you. Give more than you take, and I promise you, you will get more than you ever dreamed of.
Hey, my name's Grant Cardone, and I just created my first funnel using ClickFunnels. Let me show you how easy it is.
Good morning. Oh, right there, that's the spot. Russell's probably still sleeping. We have to leave in like 2 minutes or else we're gonna be late.
Hey, it's game time, man. What's going on?
Ubers are outside to the right.
Awesome. Where's RB? We're supposed to do over meet with Grant in like 10, 15 minutes, and I think we're gonna pull this one off today. Whew, I hope.
Oh, our flight is supposed to leave at 4:30, I think.
So we're gonna pull this thing off. I promise. Hurry, Russell. Hurry.
Good morning. About to start the last leg of the trip. We're about to go get on Grant Cardone's jet. What? Here's Dan.
Dude, you are like so late. I'm way tired, but excited. I'm excited to go home. To be honest with you, I'm excited to go home.
Hopefully our wives are still there when we get home.
Sounds nice and quiet.
Oh, baby. Here we go.
Yeah, me too. This is insane.
So, ideally, before we head out, basically 3 videos of you to camera, kind of pitching each of those offers.
Go do the announcement. What?
I'm flying this plane. They're legit like gonna let me fly this thing. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go.
Welcome to 10X Airline. We want to welcome you guys as our preferred passengers. Today we're going to be funneling our way through the clouds, and it's going to be amazing. Make sure you're buckled up and you're ready for a bumpy ride because we're going to 10X everything. It's going to be a sell-off.
It's going to be a sell-off.
Russell versus Grant, Brunson versus Cardone. Whoever wins this wins the plane. Let's go for that.
And everything that comes with it.
Everything comes.
Hey, good job, Russell. Good job. Let's give Russell. We'll get you to see here. We got the sunrise. There ain't no money in that sunrise. I can't pay your bills with the sunrise. So Russell, great to have you on board, dude. All right, okay, always good to spend time with you. You've done my last 2 conferences. Done a great job there. 1 out of 9 people purchased his product. I made a bunch of money at the last one, huh? Yeah. So look, man, I don't really understand the whole funnel thing. I know a lot of people doing well with it, right?
Yeah.
What I want to know, though, can anybody do a funnel?
Oh, yeah. That's what I see. It's like prior to ClickFunnels, nobody could. It was super hard.
Yeah.
We missed anybody can.
Yeah.
From anywhere, anyhow, anytime, just do it.
So what I want to know is, could you do it from 40,000 feet? Could we do it on the way to Chicago? We got a 2-hour flight.
Do we have internet access here?
Do I have internet access? I got 3 internet accesses. I got 2 internet bands. I got a K-band we could add to it, but I don't think we want to light that one up.
So this is like time crunch. You got to build a funnel before we land.
If you can't do it for me, you can't do it for anyone. I'm the easiest guy in the world to sell. People either love me or they hate me. But at least they'll look at the funnel. I'm gonna put ClickFunnels to the test. You got your boys on board. Your cost of this flight, no free peanuts, is you gotta create a funnel for the 10X rule.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you an easy book. Your guys, tell me what you need from me. I got internet. Can you guys do it? Can you guys create a funnel?
Oh, yeah.
We got 2 hours.
So we gotta film you then selling the book.
So my whole life I've been told I couldn't have the dream life. I've been told from the get-go it was impossible. Today I'm sitting in a plane with my name on it. You can't fake a jet, okay? You just can't fake that. Just take care of the shipping, is that the pitch?
That's it.
Plus you guys have an hour and 48 minutes. We're at 41,000 feet. No pressure at all, man. You're running out of time, no. Tick-tock, tick-tock, ClickFunnels, let's roll.
You train Grant how to use this today?
That's the question, dude.
If he can drag and drop, then anybody can do it.
What does a person need to create a funnel?
So the things you need to create a funnel, number 1, you gotta have a good product. Number 2, you gotta have somebody who can actually pitch the product.
Yeah.
Because the sales funnel is not gonna just sell the product by itself. It still takes somebody.
Yeah.
And then we need a funnel, that's it.
That's awesome.
You can grab things and like pull them and move them. Every business needs a funnel. It's just picturing like, if you were to walk up to somebody on the street and try to sell them a product, like what would be your hook? What would be the first thing you approach them with? Same thing with the funnel. Like someone comes to the funnel, how am I gonna approach them?
Yeah, you're not really trying to sell anybody. You're trying to hook into interest to say, raise my hand and say, I got an issue with my car or my roof.
Yeah.
It's doing good. He crushed that page. Quick.
All right, so the first page Grant just finished building is to sell the book. Now we're moving on to page number 2 in the funnel. So the second page, after they bought the book, then we're gonna be talking about the actual 10X experience. Get a ticket to GrowthCon 3.
Hey, thank you so much for ordering the book. It's on its way as I speak. And I don't want you just to read the book. That's gonna be awesome for you, but I want you to become part of the 10X movement. Pretty easy, man. We making sales yet?
All right, so now if they say no to that, then it takes them to the downsell page. This is where maybe they couldn't come to the event.
Yeah.
So instead we'll downsell just the recording so they don't miss out on that.
So look, you're passing on the event. Could be 2 or 3 different reasons. You don't like to travel, you don't like to leave home, you don't have the time. What I do want to do, however, even if you can't be at the event, is I want to catch you up in the comfort of your home. I'm going to give you a recording, almost 10 hours of content to last year's event so that you get caught up.
Plug that video right here on this page. Use funnels to build lists of customers and potential customers.
Do you help people build the hook?
Yeah, a lot of our training stuff shows that, like how to find the right hook.
It's the easiest thing I've ever done, actually. I'm getting rid of everybody in my office.
Because the funnel is just one-on-one selling without you there. You're just pulling yourself out. All right, and then the last page, we just thank them for their order and then tell them to invest in Cardone Capital. So that'll be the last page of the funnel, and then that's it.
And then you go to Cardone Capital?
Might as well.
Before you go, one last thing, all right? The number one question people ask me when they're working with me is, how do I get to that first 7 figures? How do I get to that first 2 comma club?
It's not hard.
No, man.
You wanted us to build a funnel. I was like, you can do it, dude. It's that easy.
Yeah. I said, hey, you guys build it at 50,000. And they're like, how about you build it? Which means, by the way, you guys can do it too. Cut and copy. Like, it's there. So he's already got a template that works. You know, it's like your mom's recipe. You don't really need to change anything. It makes a guy that's not good on it with a computer pretty easy to do it anywhere, man. If I can do it up here, you guys can do it down there. To get you up here.
Now's the time for me to play?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm legitimately flying the plane right now.
What?
All right, we're flying into Chicago. Look at that. It's been an insanely cool trip. We built a funnel. Grant built his very first funnel all by himself.
Sure did, man.
It was amazing. Anyway, coming soon to a funnel near you. All right, so the last 24 hours have been insane. On the plane, Grant built his very first funnel ever all by himself, which was really, really cool to see. It's funny because he's like, I don't want to do it. And then we made him do it. He's like, this is really easy. This is really easy. So he saw how easy ClickFunnels was, which was really exciting to actually have him use it. And now we're back here, Chicago O'Hare Airport. We were here 24 hours ago. So in 24 hours, we've been on not one, but 2 private planes and had a whole bunch of fun. So the moral of this episode is you should try to get your own plane. Just kidding, kind of. But really for me, it's all about like leveling up. You know, last episode we were in San Francisco at Salesforce. We watched how a multi-billion-dollar company runs, how it looks like, the strategies behind it. Here we saw Prove It. You know, they're a $500 million a year company now that started like 3.5 years ago. And then you look at what Grant's doing. I have no idea how much his revenues are, but enough to write a check for a $50 million plane. Every time I feel like I'm like thinking big, I find the next level and I realize I'm thinking small. And I know the difference between success from where we want to be and where we could be is all between our ears. It's all just what we believe. And so if you see people do things, you're more likely to believe it's true. Like I have absolute belief now that it's possible for ClickFunnels to go from 100 million to a billion and a billion to 10, whereas before I just hoped. Belief is the key for this episode. I look for your future, what you want to do, accomplish, find people who've already done it. When you see them, you'll realize you can do it as well. And that belief is what will drive you forward. So that's it for this episode. Thanks so much. See you on the next episode of Funnel Hacker TV.
I want you to have an experience that you will never, ever forget. We want to make this a big event for you. Our goal is to change your lives. This is what you have to go through. Anybody can be 1X or 2X. To get to these multipliers, I mean, to blow the roof off of your life and career to 10X in your business.
The greatest entrepreneurial conference on the planet.
Last year, I was in the negative, and now I'm here, man. I turned my business around, and now I'm trying to get to that next level.
We went from sleeping on an office floor 6 years ago to now running a multi-million pound business, all from Grant's material.
10X your lives. 10X the lives of the people around you. Give more than you take, and I promise you, you will get more than you ever dreamed of.
Folks, I have with me today one of our unbelievable, phenomenal international speakers coming in, Ryan Deiss, founder of digitalmarketing.com, founder and manager, partner of nativecommerce.com, over 15,000 paying members per month, 500,000 subscribers, and considered the leading authority on digital marketing. How about that for an intro, Ryan?
I'll take it, but it's digitalmarketer.com. Not marketing. I wish I could digitalmarketing.com.
He's got 15,000 paying members, and our goal is to have 35,000 more at the end of the 10X Growth Conference.
I'll take it.
Dude, let me ask you first of all, why did you agree to come to this conference in Miami? Well, you got a big schedule. You got a lot of stuff going on. You got your own big conference you're doing.
I've heard great things about the show. I had a lot of friends and colleagues who were there last year. I mean, obviously, it's the biggest. I think it's the biggest conference of its type anywhere. So it's an honor just to be able to participate. I also just believe that that sales and marketing are two sides of the same coin. So I'm excited about the opportunity to talk marketing at an event that, you know, is going to be largely salespeople, because I think marketers need to get better at selling, and I think salespeople need to get better at marketing.
Say that again. I love that line. Say that again.
I think marketers need to get better at selling, and I think salespeople need to get better at marketing. These are not two different worlds anymore.
Right.
They can't be, and they've got to come together. And so I like that that's happening.
And the people that are winning, okay, in those spaces, whether it's you or my company or just a list of 3 or 4 or 5 leaders in the space, they embrace the sales and they embrace the marketing as one thing. So Ryan,
which one you want to? I mean, how can you possibly not do one of them well and survive today? You know, I mean, that's just they have to.
Yeah. So when you go to a conference, and I know you hold a big conference every year in San Diego for, I think, what is it, 4,000 or 5,000 people?
Yes, about 5,000.
What type of people do you see? What do they have in common with one another that are showing up?
Well, so at our conference, it's primarily small to medium-sized companies that are really trying to. Everybody's figured out at this point that digital matters, that the internet is a thing. This isn't just a fad. They have to figure it out. But the specific kind of tactical application of, okay, I know I need to be on Facebook, but how? I know I need to be on Google, but how? We really like to. We don't preach at people on the importance of digital. You'll never hear me give a talk about, why digital is the future.
Yeah.
I assume that you either know that or you're just living on a different planet and you're not going to hear anything else I say.
Yeah.
So we dive pretty deep into the tactics, and that's what people, I found that's what people want. People don't want to be told like, oh, you need to test it. They want to be told specifically, where do you start? I'm all about giving people the fish and then teaching them how to fish after they're, have a full belly.
Yeah, I'm hungry. My business wants to grow. So you're going to give the audience, hey guys, not how many people are on Facebook or how many people hit social or the numbers of activities. You're assuming that they're motivated business people that want to grow their business and know they have to embrace digital.
Yeah, and they just want to know, where do I start? What do I do today? Just tell me what to do. I trust you. Like, just tell me what to do. I think marketers and salespeople, they need to get way more specific in the content that they're putting out there. Recognizing that not everybody needs exactly the same thing, but people do need to be told, just start here. You may find down the road that something else works better, but I think start here. That's what we've always done at Digital Marketer. When people would ask, what color should my buy button be? Everybody else would go in this long ramble about, well, you need to test it and depends on this. We'd say orange.
Yeah. Because dude, hadn't somebody already, that's what I always hear about this A/B test, and why I enjoyed the time that we spent together when I was in, where was it? Up in DC or Baltimore.
Yeah, Boston, I think.
Yeah, Boston. And I said, why am I going to run an A/B test when this has already been tested 1,000,000 times by 10,000 different companies?
Yeah, exactly. You don't, and the answer is you probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Start with what everybody is doing. Start with the things that are working. And you might be thinking, I'm not going to have some great big giant breakthrough. Taking the action, doing the thing that you're not doing at all, that will be the breakthrough. Then once you get you get a baseline, now maybe you can test. But we found across so many of the tests that we run, the changes are almost usually statistically insignificant. We're better off just to go do more. Let's come up with more campaigns, more offers. Let's try to go into a broader audience. And I think a lot of the split testing, a lot of the complexity that gets brought to marketing gets brought to people who are trying to sell you on their services, and they want it to be complex so they can charge more and keep you around longer.
Right, like a lawyer would. A lawyer doesn't really want to resolve the suit. He wants to keep clocking for it.
Exactly.
So tell me some of the successes you've had this year with some real companies, not yours, not mine, but some other companies outside of us, and what happened for them and how long it took.
Yeah, so we don't. So for us, I can kind of speak to some of the companies that have leveraged some of our resources. I can also speak to some of the companies that aren't digital marketer, but that are still within our portfolio group. So we still, own a number of those companies. And really what we've seen. So let's first talk about maybe on the higher end, because it's a little bit different. Are you more of an e-commerce company, so where your average customer values are really low, versus if your average customer values are much higher? With the companies that we deal with, where their average customer values are much higher, so maybe they're selling professional services or enterprise software. One of the biggest wins that we've seen this year is through chat, integrating some type of a chat bot on the website. So engaging people, and that's why I said marketers need to get better at sales, getting the people on your team to begin to engage with those folks who are on your website. So we leverage a lot of different chat tools. And one of the metrics that we actually look at now is how much does it cost us to generate a conversation? Everybody else talking like cost per lead, cost per sale. I want to know how much does it cost us to generate a conversation. And at some of the companies in the software space, they're going directly. So somebody hits the web page, and they're not necessarily filling out forms and doing all this other stuff. While they're there searching around, they're engaging with different chatbots, whether it's a tool like Drift. A lot of the different CRMs and marketing automation, they're incorporating chatbots into their platform. But people are just going in there asking questions, kind of like what they do in real life. They walk up to somebody and they want to have a conversation. This is now happening through digital channels and through digital means. And we're taking people directly from a landing page into a chat-based conversation and saying, look, why don't we just hop on the phone, and closing them right then and there at $10,000+ sales.
Wow.
Whereas those sales cycles used to be spread out over weeks because it was, okay, step one, fill out this form.
Yeah.
Then let's try to figure out when we can align the schedule. This real-time sales and real-time communication, kind of combining the digital with the analog, the digital with the terrestrial. That's been one of the biggest breakthroughs of all.
So
we can talk about below ACD stuff.
Creating a landing page costs almost nothing. Creating a website today is free. Now you drove some traffic to this landing page. Rather than waiting for this person to fill out data, you're intercepting them when they're hottest.
Right, exactly. And you can do this now automatically. And you can have a chat bot where it pings them. So it'll ask them a simple question to engage them in conversation. Now, the mistake that I see, and you've probably been to websites where these little chat bots pop up.
Right.
The question that everybody asks is, hey, want to chat? And the answer that everybody always gives is no.
Exactly.
Like,
that's
nobody
the old,
wants to chat.
can I help you?
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, can I help you? No,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You walk into a retail store, need any help? No, just looking. Right. So you need to figure out, and we're simply teaching, this is, this. I'm not telling you anything that you don't know. And I'm sure most of your listeners know this, but beginning to engage people with a binary question, a simple yes, no. So we might ask people, hey, are you an agency? Or, asking a question that will elicit that response, some type of engagement. And I used to do this when I was in retail. People walk in, I wouldn't ask them. This is when I was in college working a part-time job. I wouldn't say, hey, you need some help. I'd say, hey, you looking for shirts or pants? You can't say no.
Right.
Ask the question, and now shirts. Okay, cool. Let's go look at them. Right. So asking these binary questions, that's the real key. That is the big breakthrough to making chat work. So if you've tried it, you said, yeah, I tried it. Nobody's really integrating with, talking with my chat bot or anything like that. But the first stage of that conversation can be largely automated. That in some of those initial qualifying questions, you can have that automated in the chat bot. So a real human being doesn't actually engage until somebody's answered 2 or 3 questions and they're qualified. So that's a huge breakthrough.
Yeah, let me ask you, I love this because I'm thinking about my own business right now, and one of the reasons why I'm having you at the conference is because I want to know. The roster that we have, people are like, how do you pick these guys? I'm like, each one has a set of expertise, if you will, that I can learn something from. So let's say this chat gets hit at 11:30 at night, and I don't have anybody here. I mean, what do I need to do with that? Do I need?
Yeah, well, so the first couple of questions can be automated by a bot. So let's say somebody comes and it's and you ask that kind of initial question with the yes, no, and now somebody engages. There could be 2 or 3 more questions that they ask, and then what it can say is, hey, I need to go and grab somebody. So the bot could be programmed to say, hey, I want to go get somebody, but it's kind of after hours. Is it okay if we reach out to you tomorrow? And it can actually put a link in there and say, please select a time when we should call you.
Yeah.
And it can, with a click, they can go and do that.
Dude, that's awesome.
Turn chat off during those times. So if you say, we only want the bot to appear when I know a human,
yeah,
you can have chat turned off. I actually don't recommend that.
So, yeah, hey, I'd rather have some interaction than none. Is that stored? Is that stored data, Ryan?
Yeah. So if they give you the data, then it's stored. So what you could say is go through the initial questions, and then when it's done, say, hey, so unfortunately this is after hours. And we encourage people to admit like it's a bot. Hey, this is after hours. I'm just kind of a dumb robot. But can I have one of my human friends call you tomorrow, or send you an email tomorrow? What's your email address?
Yeah, beautiful. I love that. Now let me ask. Let's say the chat went nowhere. No, I'm not interested. I'm just looking around. Whatever. Is that data stored? Can I walk in tomorrow morning and see how many chats were hit? How many people denied or accepted or?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude,
that's in there.
That's unbelievable.
And if somebody comes in and they say not interested, that's definitely stored. If they return again, you can have a different chat go if they come back. Or you could assign that particular person, even though you don't yet know who they are. You could, through IP address tracking and all kinds of things, you could assign that to where you could say, okay, this person's been back twice. Let's ping somebody on the human side to go ahead and proactively reach out to them. There's a lot of different things that you can do now on the chat side. And I'm telling you, if you're selling something that's more than, definitely if you're north of $10,000 average customer value, but even if you're north of 3,000 customer value, you're kind of crazy not to have what we've been able to do. So now leaving like kind of some of the companies that we've helped and talking about digital marketer, because I only know this data for us, we've been able to turn our customer care department into a profit center.
Yeah.
So what would traditionally be, because we have them engaging initially with a lot of these questions, and then when it turns into a sales, it's up, let me pull somebody in. And so now we get paid to have these conversations with folks, and it's a better service. People like it. I'm so sick of folks saying nobody wants to talk to anybody anymore. That's not true.
Dude.
Never human beings want to talk to other human beings. We just want to do it under our terms.
Yeah. Look, we'll have 15,000 transactions between now and the end of the year. I would expect 2/3 of these people would actually like to talk to someone and be sure, okay, it's legit. This is from Grant. This is not somebody else. Like, the bigger the internet gets, the less trustworthy it becomes. So Ryan's telling you there's no difference today between marketing and sales. Sales and marketing, the two are hand in hand, and they're going to result in a bigger top line in 2019.
Absolutely. If you want a quick tip on that front based on what you just said in terms of the extra kind of validation people want to talk to folks.
Yeah.
I give you a real simple thing that all your listeners can do. If you haven't already done this, and hopefully you have, put a phone number in the top right-hand corner of your order form, of any online order form. You won't get an enormous number of people calling it, but the ones who do will say just what you said.
Yeah.
Hey, I just wanted to make sure that you're real. I want to make sure this is a real thing.
Yeah.
So thanks for answering. But just the presence of that, the fact that you said we're willing to talk to you, we've seen that have some conversion rate bumps, and it costs you nothing to do it. So and I've seen lots of people, they don't want to talk to their folks. People are calling you. They probably want to give you money. You should talk to them.
Totally. That's why the "can I help you" thing doesn't work, because it's like, yeah, I'm trying to buy something right now. You're interrupting me.
Right.
As opposed to saying, hey, a binary question could be, hey, could I, like the waiter says, hey, can I tell you about the specials while you're looking at the menu? It's just an offer of service to give me something I don't know about.
Yeah, this is a great, here we're kind of famous for our seafood, but our steaks are amazing. You thinking seafood or steaks tonight?
Yeah.
The best one I ever saw, really quick story. I'm walking out of the grocery store, and there's some Girl Scouts set up there selling cookies. And everybody's like, do you want to buy some cookies? And in general, you're like, I don't know, I'm trying to watch you come up with some way to
dodge,
skulk away from the cute, girl that you're basically saying no to. This one Girl Scout, though, brilliant. She said, and the key to a binary question, if it's yes, no, is to make sure that the answer is always yes.
Yeah.
She said, I'm sorry, sir, quick question. Would you like to buy some cookies for the troops? And it's, we understand that a lot of people love buying Girl Scout cookies for themselves, but what you can also do, if you didn't know, is you can buy cookies and we'll send them to the troops overseas.
Wow, brilliant.
Who's going to say, no, her question was, do you want to support the troops? Who's going to say no in America? Nah, I don't want to support.
Dude, left and right, everybody's like, yeah, I'll support him, man.
Brilliant, yeah.
So do you help a company? I mean, when the audience is sitting in Marlins Stadium, 35,000 entrepreneurs, all of them come there with the intention of 10x their business. Are these some of the things, Ryan, that you can, whether somebody's starting a business, working for a company, or they're trying to expand their business? That's really the three categories of people. Are you going to be able to help everybody in the room, in the stadium, say, hey, I can leave with something Ryan gave me, at no cost and literally start operating in 2019 on these items?
Absolutely. I'm going to make sure we've got 3 very specific things that I want to talk about that anybody should be able to implement. No matter where you are in business, you can do a variation of at least one. And so I just like to make sure that people leave with something tactical. If down the road you say, hey, that was good, that was helpful, I want to check out Digital Marketer and see if maybe I can get some training from my team so that they implement this so I don't have to, then great. Hopefully that works out. And I know we're talking about doing some cool stuff together that will hopefully make it even easier for them to do that. But I'm all about, here's something that you can go and do right now and get a positive result. I cannot stand it when people just preach at me when I go to the event about why I need to do something. So we're going to spend no time on the why. I'm going to assume if you're there, you got that figured out, and we're going to dive straight into 3 things. So the chatbot example I just gave, I'm going to go into that actual campaign so you can see how we structure it, and then talk about 2 other really valuable changes and tweaks that we made. Because look, one thing I will say about digital, it's getting harder. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Traffic costs are up over where they were over a couple of years. They just are. It's getting more expensive. Conversion rates in general are down. You have to do more. I remember when I first got started, people would give you their email address because they were just excited to get mail because nobody got mail. Remember, you got mail and you were like, yay.
Yeah.
That's not the case anymore. So conversion rates are down and engagement as a whole is down because there's just so much noise. I remember when Facebook pages first came out, you could post stuff on Facebook and people would actually see it. Now, like less than 0.5% of people are going to see it if they're even following you. So these are all realities of where we are today. It doesn't mean that now is a bad time to get in digital. Now is a great time because if you can get that edge, the noise is about to get weeded out. The competition is about to go, is about to get sidelined. And as is always the case, the rich are going to get richer.
Yeah, so you're saying because they can't monetize, because the people that are just in there trying to play, you're amateurs. There's a lot of amateurs in the space, and you're saying those people, because they can't monetize, they're going to probably go away.
They're definitely going to go away. I mean, there's been amateurs for a very long time who have been making enormous amounts, who've been very, very, very successful, not because of anything overly special they were doing, just because they were taking advantage of these momentary inefficiencies, in the market.
Yeah.
It used to be, I remember when I first got started, if you just put the same keyword a bunch of times at the bottom of the page, you would rank for that keyword.
Mm-hmm.
Now, those days are long, long, long gone, but inefficiencies like that, there's still some of them that are here, and there's some people that are still taking advantage of them. It's no different in real estate. There's going to be inefficiencies in certain markets that you can take advantage of. Then everybody discovers it, the inefficiencies go away, and then only the really savvy people are able to make it work. That's where we're shifting into, and that's why knowing this stuff, not just knowing the trick of the hack, but knowing some of the underlying principles, knowing how to actually implement a comprehensive strategy and not just do this one little tweak or this one little hack, take advantage of this one little thing, that's where we need to shift to.
Hey guys, Ryan Deiss, he's going to be at the 10X Growth Conference as a featured speaker. Guy's awesome. He knows his business. He's the leader in the digital marketing space. His website's digitalmarketer.com if you want to check him out before you come to the conference. He is a featured and selected person by me because he can bring your digital game to another level. If you think you know the game, promise you he's going to add to it. If you're not playing there, you definitely want to get the right information from the right people, from professionals from the get-go. 2019 will be a digital. And the thing I like about Ryan is like our message about sales, marketing, these are not separate things. Network marketers, can they benefit from this?
Absolutely. I mean, they right now, if you look at the majority of the network marketers, there's been a boom in that industry because of social.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing any type of network marketing, networking can be scary. Going face to face can be scary. But now everybody's doing social. So
how about real estate agents?
Yeah, only if they want more clients.
Yeah. What about retail salespeople and our retail companies, a barbershop, salon?
Yeah, I mean, I own a number of retail stores as well. And while you may be transacting the bulk of your sales in a store, I promise you they are finding you, they're learning about you, they're doing research long before they come in digital. So I know a lot of retailers talk about retail store traffic being down, but retail store sales really aren't down as much as a lot of people predicted they would be. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Amazon's taken a bite, but Amazon's largely, killed the catalog business and things like that. Still, the vast majority of discretionary income is spent within a 10-mile radius of somebody's home. So I'm very bullish on retail. But if you think that, I'm local brick and mortar, I don't need to worry about digital, I'm sorry. I don't believe that you're going to be long for this world.
Look, the more I learn about digital from you, Ryan, the more our e-commerce grows, but my retail grows as well. And I think people just need to figure out, hey guys, it's just another store. It's a virtual store rather than a physical store without property taxes.
You said it. It's a location.
Yeah.
The people who get e-commerce recognize that, if you have a multi-store location in a bunch of cities and you have one that's online, that is not a different business. That is another location. The people who treated it like it's a fundamentally different business are the ones who kind of missed on that. It's a different location. And the more that you can align the experiences and apply the things that work in the retail store to digital and vice versa, the stronger you're going to be.
Ryan Deiss, I'll see you February 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, buddy. I can't wait to spend more time with you, all right?
Likewise, looking forward to it.
Hey, you can spend time with him as well. February 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Grab your seat. We're almost sold out. Ryan Deiss will be spending. What day are you speaking? Friday or Saturday, Ryan?
On Saturday. That's the 2nd, correct?
Saturday is our marketing day, right? So Friday, we really get you in there and we start talking about how do you actually, what's the plan here to 10x your business? Saturday, we get really physically into the weeds of what do you need to do to add to the top line. This guy's all about making money. He will show you how to make money. He's not there to convince you of the facts of the matter. So, Ryan, can't wait to spend time with you, man.
Likewise, buddy. Looking forward to it. Thanks for having me. Sorry about the audio issues.
No, don't worry about it, dude. Don't worry about it, man. Okay? Cool. All right, 10xcoachcon.com. You can get your seats there. We were in the arena today. The place is unbelievable. Every seat is a great seat. I got 9,000 square feet of LED boards, Ryan, that you'll be projected up on.
Can you get an upward angle so I look taller than I am?
Dude, you're gonna be 60 foot tall.
Cool. And have your able to kind of bring it in so I also look skinnier than I am.
Dude, you're gonna look muscular as well.
That seems like you might be overpromising there. I got nothing.
Okay, I'll see you guys in February.
I want you to have an experience that you will never, ever forget. We want to make this a big event for you. Our goal is to change your lives. This is what you have to go through. Anybody can be 1X or 2X. To get to these multipliers, to blow the roof off of your life and career to 10X in your business.
The greatest entrepreneurial conference on the planet.
Last year, I was in the negative, and now I'm here, man. I turned my business around, and now I'm trying to get to that next level.
We went from sleeping on an office floor 6 years ago to now running a multi-million-pound business, all from grants material.
Give it a loud
10X your lives. 10X the lives of the people around you. Give more than you take, and I promise you, you will get more than you ever dreamed of. I want you to have an experience that you will never, ever forget.
I gotta get it.
dude. Let's pray it out together.
All right.
Okay? It can't hurt, man. I got to make sure this program works, dude.
Yes.
Okay? I'm in Harvard. We're in Harvard. All the intelligence in the universe. Let's add a little faith to it.
Yes.
These are beautiful. This guy is an internet marketing freaking genius. You guys know Ryan Deiss, okay? But what you don't know about him is when you put him in a church,
Yeah.
the guy, it starts flowing.
It's a preacher. It's a preacher.
I thought he
thing.
was the pastor.
And I also bake. I also bake bread.
I've been wanting to interview you for years, okay? We're gonna go jump on the plane and I want to introduce you to my audience, what you're doing. I know you got a big conference coming up in San Diego every year, y'all do?
Yeah, we do.
How many people go to that deal?
About 5,000-6,000.
Have I ever done that deal? Have I ever been invited to that, Jared?
Yeah.
Deiss.
Yeah.
Let's keep it small.
Yeah.
You know? Don't bring in the Maverick. Damon John calls me the cowboy. He's like, dude, you're hard to work with. You're a hard guy to work with. So look, we're gonna go jump on the plane. All right. Let's man, I dropped you off in Austin, but I gotta meet you.
Just hang a left. Where's your meeting?
I know.
It seems like it's the least it's practically out of the way. Do you have a parachute?
We try not to use those except
Good.
on dire occasions.
Yeah.
So no shit. I've been dying to meet you and get to know you and know what you're doing, and learn from you. You know, so because I know we do a lot of things wrong. We just keep pushing, but so I look forward to you.
That's why we got to pray. Pray for better email campaigns.
Dude, I will definitely pray to make open that email, please. Okay? I know. You know what's your specialty? What is the thing you do better than anybody else?
It really comes down to architecting that initial journey from when they discover who you are and what are the stages to take them all throughout. So we call it marketing or we call it sales, but we're just trying to do the same thing, which is transform strangers into friends, into customers, into raving fans.
Yeah.
So figuring out how does that happen and how do we leverage technology to do it, that's what we're about at Digital Marketer.
How bad do I mess up? And when you see my stuff, I know you look at it a little bit, you're like, too much, strong, it's too aggressive, it's out of sequence.
No, I mean, look, it has to do with being consistent with the brand and who you are. So it's not a value, it's like, is it good or is it bad? I think you gotta know your audience, you gotta know where you are, but you know, the messaging is that on it? You know you guys are good. You got a plane. You can't be doing anything that bad.
But you know, my kids are like, hey, Papa, we're going to go to college. I said, baby, you're going to either go to Harvard, Yale, or MIT, and if you go there, just go there to meet. Don't worry about what's in those
They don't
books.
have to go to class?
No. I said, you don't need to go to class. You need to go there for the connections. Ryan will teach you everything.
There you go.
So you just learn from Ryan, pick up my program.
Seems like I need to raise my prices.
Yeah, sure.
Harvard, coming at you.
Are we ready? We coffee?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we'll see you guys on the plane. Hey, so look, we made it back from Harvard.
Yes.
I feel smarter.
I feel more smarter than ever.
And we brought our Sweet Sam's iced carrot cake. I know some of you are going to want to know, did Cardone steal it or did Deiss steal it?
Yeah.
Okay. Neither one of us stole it. We bought it, okay? First we sold her on it, then we bought it.
And it's paleo.
Dude, paleo, what does that mean?
Paleo.
Oh, it is?
No carbs.
Oh.
No, it's live. It's all 100%.
Yeah, I'm just going to take the top
pure
off.
Sugar.
This is what internet marketers want to do too. They just want to take the top off.
Just skim the top off.
Right? So let's talk about that.
All right.
We're in your world, you know, I know you came out of sales. I'm a hard sales guy. When does that internet world, the marketing internet, converge with real sales?
Yeah, I mean, so the whole time we're just looking at what is the journey that somebody comes through, right? What is the initial awareness? How do all these things happen? It used to be, you know, when I got started in sales, I'm guessing when you did too.
Yeah.
The awareness happened when you dialed a number and somebody picked up on the other line, or when you knocked on a door, right? Now that's happening on the web. So more and more digital is driving kind of the earlier part of the process, but at some point it's still a human being making a sales pitch to another human being. Now that might be, you know, online, it might be through an online video, something like that, or it might be still over the phone or face to face, but it's more, you know, the web really lives, and the biggest thing is getting it early, and also facilitating the follow-up, right? So enabling that.
So when you talk about facilitating the follow-up, like, is that being done in your world, is it being done with just a computer, just the internet, or is it being done with phone calls, combinations?
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of that's gonna depend on what are you selling and what's your average customer value. I mean, if you're selling a $7 spoon and knife fork combination, you probably can't afford to dollar for dollars. But absolutely, I mean, the phone is still there, but more times than not, it's going to be email being sent. It's going to be Facebook retargeting ads to just stay in people's world, so that when you do make that outbound effort, they're not like, who are you again? It's like, oh, that's weird. You've been everywhere.
Yeah.
This effect that we can now create through a digital landscape. So marketing now it's the full extent. I mean, it's going to touch everything. But to think that it can be totally divorced from sales is just not realistic.
Because I have so many people come visit us in Miami, and they come to the back room and they see, first of all, you see the front room, the e-commerce guys, 25 years old, male and female. They're doing their deal, they're using social and push and email. And then they go to the back of the place and they see these guys on the phone, totally different energy. And they're like, what are these guys doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, these guys are following up on those things that were done in the front.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I can't get the front to embrace what the back does.
Well, I'll tell you what I did. So anytime we're going to go, whether it's launch a new company, a new product, for me it always starts with, whether it's the phone or face-to-face, but it always starts with talking. Because if they're up here doing this, I don't know how they know what they're supposed to be typing if they haven't been talking.
Right.
So it always has to start with talking and communicating, with the customer. So we always sell it, figure out how do we sell it, face to face. Because if I can't make that work, still the most efficient sales mechanism by far is face to face. If you can't sell what you got face to face, don't think that the internet's going to save you.
So Ryan, how important then is it for somebody that's doing e-commerce to understand just sales fundamentals?
It's essential, and even the ones who think that they aren't doing it, they are.
Yeah.
They're just not giving credit where credit's due. They think they're inventing something new, and that's adorable, I guess. But it's not. They're not learning, and they're not getting better because they think that truly what they're doing is unique. The only thing that has changed is the medium has changed. Just like when the phone happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Sales was not sales. It's not like there were no selling for the phone, right? That was a new media. That was a new medium through which to sell. TV, radio, video, all these things stay.
So now I have this to communicate with.
Yeah, it's just another media.
So do I need to understand then the basic, how to build rapport, how to make contact, how to build rapport, find out what somebody's needs are, land them on a product, pitch it, build value, close, follow up, negotiate,
it's all the same things. I mean, even if you look, so marketers speak in terms of funnels, right? Salespeople speak in terms of sales pipelines. It's the same thing, just turned sideways.
So
I mean, it really is. It's amazing.
But in your world, I see there's a common thread between guys that are they get empathy. It's the first thing Jared told me to do. Oh, go get empathy with the audience.
Right.
Then they typically say, hey, we're not doing sales. This is for people that don't like to do sales.
Right.
But I don't think that you're promoting this is not a sales game.
No, I mean, again, depending on the audience, you might have to, going back to the empathy, we might have to alter our vocabulary and maybe use some hipster-approved terminology. But it is still sales. I mean, at the end of the day, where we start any marketing campaign is I have to know who am I going to be talking to. I have to be crystal clear on where are they now. So we call that their before state, right? So what is somebody's before state? What do they have? How do they feel? What's an average day like? What's their status? And how does my product or service impact all of those? So that's where we start, and then we'll chart what is their ideal after. And all marketing really is, at the end of the day, is painting a picture at scale for how your product or service is a vehicle that will transport someone from that less desirable before to that more desirable after. Now, how that's any different from selling, I don't know. It's all just sales. That's all. You get a.
You're just saying I can do it now to 10,000 people at a time or more,
right?
Rather than just knocking on Johnny's door one at a time.
The new media gave us new scale, but there's always a trade-off, right? Anytime you're always trading conversion rate for scale.
You lose some personal.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that's where the people who say, now that we have the internet, we don't need to sell face-to-face, we're leaving so much money on the table, right? So you've got people, like you said, who on the e-com side, they're generating the leads, they're doing some basic filtering, but you still want the sales teams to close them. I mean, we got to sell. We're digitalmarketer.com, and our biggest department is sales.
Right.
So
look, I go to Barney's site and I don't buy from Barney's. I go to Gucci's site and I don't buy the slippers from Gucci's. I would love for somebody from Gucci to say, dude, I saw you hit these slippers, you know, we got another pair in, but nobody ever does that. Like how much retail is being missed because that internet marketer refuses to embrace this tradition?
Well, and what you're doing if they don't, you're just saying, you're deciding now that you're going to lose to Amazon. That's just it. I mean, you are deciding now that you are going to lose to Amazon if you're not willing to engage, because the act of engagement, person to person, is the only advantage that you're really going to have over Amazon.
Yeah, right.
Period, end of story. So if you tell me you're in the e-com space and you're not building a direct relationship, you're not building community, you're not doing any type of outbound, any type of follow-up, just you're deciding now. You may not realize it. You're deciding passively, but you're deciding now. Amazon's going to beat me one day.
To Goliath.
I'm giving it to them when they decide they want it.
Yeah. What do you see going on right now? Like, is there any kind of shift, any kind of metamorphosis going on?
Yeah. What's funny is this whole idea of chat. You know, chat has been around. Live chat has been around for a long time. It's now getting to a point where there's technology that's making it work at scale. But still, you have to know so now when somebody comes to your website, right, you can actually have a bot talking to that person. Yeah. Right. So that's the new big thing. Yeah. Bots. Yeah, but AI,
does it work?
Because
when the bot hits me, you know, hey, is there something I can help you with? You know?
Because that you and I both know that's a really terrible opening line for a sales conversation. Right? If you walk into a retail place and they say, you know, so you walk into a retail place like, hey, can I help you with anything? What do we say? No, just looking.
Yeah.
Only about 100% of the time. Then they walk off, and now you do have a question. You're looking for them, and you're pissed off that they're not there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly. So I'm like, hey, they're ignoring me now.
So on the chat, what we're doing is we're asking a binary question. We're asking a simple yes, no.
Binary means what?
Meaning it's a simple yes, no, this or that. So we're not asking the person to
open-ended conversational.
Some kind of thing. Not yet. It's just so if somebody hits a web page. So for us at Digital Marketer, one of our big audiences is agencies, right? We want to work with agencies who are doing the work. We want to equip them. They're not only a customer of ours, but they're also a channel. So they're highly, highly valuable.
Agency
group.
Means what?
So a digital agency would be a company that's running Facebook advertising or doing copywriting or any of that type of work. Because we're on the training side. We're not doing the services. So we want to partner with people who are doing the services. So these folks come to particular web pages and we can ask them, hey, do you have a question? Want to chat? That doesn't work. If instead we say, quick question, are you an agency or a consultant? Yes. Oh, great. That's awesome. Welcome. You're definitely in the right place. How long have you been in business? X number of years, right? A bot can do that, and then a bot can be programmed to loop in, to round robin to a salesperson saying, hey, I got a live one.
Right.
I got a real person who's ready for a real live human conversation. So we can ask, 3 or 4 questions. The bot can ask 3 or 4 filtering questions, and then when it's ready, then it can kick it over to the sales team. But
so how much time is somebody going to have to spend though to program that chat? Let's say I'm giving a free book away.
Right.
So we're offering my real estate book for free. And the guy goes there and he's just hung up on the page. I mean, it's a free book. There's no catch.
Yep.
But he doesn't hit it. The bot would come up and say, what would be a good question for a free
good question might be, are you, quick question, are you an active real estate investor or just getting started?
Yeah, that's good. So not about the book so much.
Right. Are you an active real estate investor or just getting started? There's no wrong answer, right?
Yeah.
I'm an active real estate investor. Hey, fantastic. You might want to check this out too. Or maybe what you want to say is, hey, this book's really better for beginners. You might want to check this one out. A bot can do that. So you asked how long would it take to program that?
Yeah.
Forever. Back in the day, but it now, because there's technology solutions like Drift, .com, like Intercom, some of these other, even like a lot of the CRMs are beginning to build it in. It's as simple as writing, if you're familiar with email autoresponders, it's literally the same thing as crafting an email autoresponder.
Wow.
What's the sequence? How do you want it to go? So that's a big change. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
But where everybody screws it up is they declare, now that bots are here, we don't need salespeople. Wrong.
Right.
The bot is there to filter. You still need somebody on the other end to have that real live human-to-human conversation. And so the biggest shift that I'm seeing is just that, right? It's all heading back to human-to-human. It's not
so not automate to a robot. Combine automation with human experience.
Exactly. It is better facilitating real H-to-H, real human-to-human interaction. It's not trying to exclude them from it.
You said when we were walking to the plane that you've been doing a bunch of stuff in Germany and around the world. Like, what are some of the places you've been to, and then what are their questions?
So so we've been, Australia. There's a lot going on right now in Singapore. I mean, the internet is everywhere.
Yeah.
And so they're now companies and people all over the world are realizing that that they can do it too. Mm-hmm. The barriers literally are going down. Brazil right now. Oh my gosh, the entrepreneurial energy and fervor right now in Brazil. And what it's funny. The question is, so you asked, what are the questions you're hearing? What I used to hear was, how can I get my product or service? How can I market it to people in the States? Mm-hmm. Now the question is, they're less concerned about how do I market to the States. It's how do I market it within my own geography, because e-commerce buying is increasing worldwide. China in particular, when we talk to people in China, they're not that interested in selling to the States anymore because the Chinese economy is doing well enough.
They're building a middle class.
Yeah, they've got a middle class larger than our middle class. They're buying like crazy. Where I was in a mall in China looking at a kid's bicycle, the exact same kid's bicycle that would be in a Walmart or something here in the States, for the exact same price.
Wow.
And it didn't have to take a boat from China all the way over here. And they're still charging, the same price.
So you're saying the margin there is probably bigger than
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And they don't have a larger middle class. These developing nations don't have a larger middle class by percentage, but in terms of just the number of humans.
Right.
This is a massive population.
Right.
It's big over there.
So is the Chinese consumer? Are they going to a store, or are they buying their stuff? They probably like going to the store right now because
it's a little
they're
bit.
starting to touch stuff for the first time, right?
It's a little bit both. So the luxury market, they want to go in the store because they want to make sure that it's real. But what's fascinating about other countries that don't have this idea of an online store, they're doing way more shopping through chat apps. So if you think about these different chat applications, so Facebook Messenger being one that probably most people would be familiar with. There's
but look, the guy knows it's a bot, right?
In most cases, yeah, they know they're a bot.
Yeah.
But
so I mean, how do you feel about knowing that, hey, dude, I'm chatting with the damn computer?
So hopefully the people aren't having these like in-depth, intimate conversations, right?
Although so you're saying it's just 2 or 3 or 4 questions just to find out where this guy goes?
Yeah, it's a couple of questions. It's a way better experience than the push button phone, like press 2 for this department. Press this. It's that same kind of process, but brought into an online environment where it could just be made to feel a lot more human than a radio voice over the phone being like.
Well, dude, look, I definitely got to get my chat game on, because I know I'm missing it.
Chat's big.
Chat's
big. It's not going to be less people on the phone, but when the phone calls happen, they're going to be further.
Well, my guy would be like, hey man, this guy's real. He's. And it could be a problem, right? Like Absolutely. He hit my site, didn't get his book, he's been waiting for it, and he wants to invest in the fund, and he's like, he needs a human being now.
Yep. And once you solve the problem, that's the best time to set him on up. The other beautiful thing about chat, I'll just throw this out there. And by the way, I don't own a chat.
Yeah, he digs like chat, but the dude is in the chat right now.
It is. I do like it because I can have a salesperson. They can be maintaining 3 or 4 simultaneous conversations. You can't do that over the phone.
Yeah, right.
You got one, so they can be chatting with somebody here, go to a different one, chat with somebody over here, and the next generation coming up, right? They're hip to that.
Right.
They're having 15 billion conversations at the same time with a bunch of different friends. They're maintaining that conversation flow. So to an extent, all this texting is prepping the next generation of salespeople. At least that's how I make myself feel better about my children's cell phone activities.
Yeah. Hey, dude, look. I had a guy come in my office one day. He's like, you got 30 different freaking browsers open.
Yeah.
And your phone. And about that, I had 2 phones on my desk. And he's like, how do you do this? I'm like, that's what you got to do. Right?
Yeah.
You got to keep all these conversations going, spinning plates. I mean, it's not a new thing, right?
Close one, that's probably less money.
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to close one, open 2 more.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? What are you up to right now? I know you got your event in San Diego.
Yeah, so
it's an annual event, right?
Absolutely. Traffic Conversion Summit is coming up in San Diego in February. We're going on our 10th year.
Wow.
10 years. So very thankful for all the folks who've been coming out to that. Excited about that. We're actually launching a new software application in the corporate learning area that really combines learning management with process management to make it easier to train teams. And I'll tell you, the biggest thing that I believe right now is we are shifting back to an apprenticeship economy.
Uh-huh.
We were shifting back to a skills-based economy, and we were just at Harvard, right?
Yeah.
I'm not anti-intellectual, I'm not anti-education, but the reality is the Harvards, the Yales, they're not training people for the skills that I know I need to hire for.
Yeah,
and probably that you do as well. And so it's really shifting back to like an on-the-job training type process.
Yeah.
That's what we hire people
where I'm
smart,
getting real
with
attention
dividend.
from somebody that's teaching me how to use a camera in this case, or a microphone.
Absolutely.
Not just reading about it.
Yeah, because they're probably not going to school for that. They're probably not going to school for, digital marketing. It's just changing too fast. They can't keep up. And that's so many different fields of study that are in that area. And so we want to really build a solution that kind of powers that aspect of it. So excited about that.
Yeah, and so what kind of companies or individuals come to your San Diego deal or hire your company?
I mean, it's literally it's everything from the small 1-2 person shop, butcher, baker, candlestick maker, all the way up to large companies like Uber and what company doesn't need digital marketing? Right. And the thing that we've always been about is we just say, here's what's working. We're not researchers. We don't give theory. We said we tried this, it worked. We tried this, it didn't. You might want to do that one, but hey, make your own decision. Right. So it is truly companies of all sizes, agencies, so that they can come out and learn what's working now, so they can take those back to their clients. A lot of speaker, author, expert, consultant, e-commerce people. Again, it's,
I need your help, dude.
It's only all of them.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry to grow, and I know when I go outside the U.S., the hunger there, people want to do well.
It's so beautiful. It really is.
Right.
Yeah,
it's like
great.
a voracious appetite to.
In Southeast Asia right now, in South America, it reminds me of when I started my very first business, made my first sale online from my freshman dorm room in 1999. And I remember the entrepreneurial energy that was happening at that moment. And I don't know if it was the Great Recession or if just we're too fat and happy. But so much of the energy and enthusiasm, I'm not saying it's gone, but it's not like it was then.
Oh,
and
you
when
think it's less now?
I think it's less now.
Wow.
Which is unfortunate because there's more opportunity now than ever before, and just the expectation of I've got an idea, I'm going to start it, I'm going to go raise some venture capital, I'm going to be the next whatever.
Yeah.
It's not the gritty hunger that like let's just go make some money. It's let's go prove out this idea so that somebody else can get me money. It's the celebration of the funding round as opposed to the celebration of the big sale or the exit. And I see what's going on in a lot of the other countries. I'd say, I'm patriotic.
And that doesn't happen there? It doesn't happen? You don't see it happening there?
It is that gritty hunger. That
So what he's talking about right here is like, when I grew up, I was knocking on doors. I wasn't even using a phone. It was like door to door.
Yep.
Hey, will you see me? In 1999, he's making his first sales on the internet. And he's saying there's companies all over Phoenix, Austin.
My day job, by the way, was dialing for dollars. My day job was making 100 calls a day in financial services.
Wow.
So yeah.
And there's these unicorn companies now that are basically coming up with a concept, going out to the market, raising money, selling nothing.
Yep.
It's an idea, it's a concept, right? So Blackstone comes in and pays for it,
Yeah.
or whatever company.
Yeah.
Can I use that? Can I
Yeah,
use
yeah.
So, or Goldman or whoever, right?
Yep.
They come in and they fund it, say, hey, here's 20 million, 21 million, here's 21 million, boom, take the 21 and now build something into it. And you're like, but where's the business?
That's what's getting celebrated.
The
funding rounds are what's getting celebrated.
As opposed to...
And that's not value creation.
Right.
Value creation happens when the sale is made to somebody who should be buying the product and their life has changed. Again, they move from that less desirable before state to that more desirable after.
They got a better camera, a better house, a better...
their life is better.
Yeah.
That's when value creation occurs. It does not occur at the funding round. But I'm seeing that is the thing that's talked about. That's the hot, sexy thing.
Love that, dude. I love value creation.
And what you're seeing is that same gritty hunger because they don't have access to the same capital. That's what I'm seeing in these other places. And I'll tell you, America, watch out.
Yeah. You were going to say you're patriotic, but you were going to get ready.
But we can't act like we invented entrepreneurialism and it's ours to hold
do betterment.
Exactly.
Right? I told my wife, I said, we moved from California to Miami. And I said, this might not be our last move. Like, if the U.S. keeps going about this dumbass way, I mean, I can hop out of here too. So.
Yep. Well, on what though?
Huh?
What? How would you leave?
Well,
if only you had a convenient way to leave.
When I study the really successful people, they travel.
Yeah.
They're mercurial. That was part of the reason for this, is that like they're mobile, they're moving around, they're making these connections. So when you talk to me about Brazil, Germany, wherever you're going, I'm like, dude, I'm so interested in going to those places.
Yeah.
A lot of people there.
They're smart and they're hungry. And what's great is for us, so here's the way that we can, in most cases, they're 5 to 7 years behind.
Yeah.
So the stuff here that's getting really hard, you can take to these other places and it works really, really well.
Ryan Deiss, okay, true power player right here. First interview on the plane, dude.
Yes.
I'm glad you broke it in right,
It was a blast,
man.
yeah.
And I look forward to doing some more stuff with you, man. He's in Austin. Name of the company is?
Digitalmarketer.com.
Yeah, check him out, digitalmarketing.com. And what's your favorite social media? Do you have a favorite?
LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn and also Twitter. So
okay.
Ryan Deiss, Deiss.
And then we got to figure out how to do some other stuff together.
Let's do it.
Let's make some money together.
Let's do it,
man.
I'm
Let's
down.
make some money together and make some money with them. All right?
I'm all for it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I want you to have an experience that you will never, ever forget. We want to make this a big event for you. Our goal is to change your lives. This is what you have to go through. Anybody can be 1X or 2X. To get to these multipliers, I mean, to blow the roof off of your life and career to 10X in your business.
The greatest entrepreneurial conference on the planet.
Last year, I was in the negative, and now I'm here, man. I turned my business around, and now I'm trying to get to that next level.
We went from sleeping on an office floor 6 years ago to now running a multi-million pound business all from grants material.
Give it a loud 10X your lives. 10X the lives of the people around you. Give more than you take, and I promise you, you will get more than you ever dreamed of.
This dude that I have today, self-made, super multi-millionaire, global TV sensation, best-selling author, and oh my God, when he drops on stage, people listen. That's right, my friend, my buddy, a fisherman, a hunter, a killer, Damon John. Hey, what's going on, man?
Oh man, I'm living in the greatest city ever made, man.
God damn, you look good.
Oh shit, I got my Christmas jacket on my wife gave me.
Dude, what is that? Is that purple you got on today?
No, man, it's not purple, baby. It's black, just like me. Competition black. That's what I am.
Oh my God, dude, I've been talking up. Well, what about the hat? Is the hat black or purple?
The hat is blue, baby. It's the Yankees, the most winningest team in sports history.
Oh my God, you're gonna be giving me an education today, huh?
I'm gonna hang out with winners, baby. That's why I'm hanging out with you. What's up?
Look, I was just being blasphemous, what is the word? Blasphemous, because I'm like, Damon John used to be my friend, but he comes to Miami to go to Art Basel and doesn't call me up and say, hey, come roll with me, man.
Listen, I'll be there in the second, third, and fourth, man. I'm gonna hit you up. I keep forgetting that you live in Miami, man, because I think you live kind of like West Palm. So
I didn't want to go up there, man, because it's too boring. Everything's predictable.
Why is it predictable?
Up in West Palm?
Oh, I thought you meant Art Basel. I got you. Yes.
No, I'm down here in the land of controversy and change and diversity. Hey, Damon John, I really appreciate you being here with me today. You're coming down February 1st, 2nd, and 3rd to do your third 10X Growth Conference.
That's right, man.
Why are you coming, man?
I want to be around like-minded people, man. I like all the people that you have on stage, but more importantly, man, you're one of the only. Maybe Gary hits a young, energetic crowd, man. You're one of the only people that have an energetic crowd. They want to 10X themselves. I feed off their energy. It is amazing when I'm in that room with your people. It is amazing. It is infectious, and they are hungry. And I love speaking to them, because then I myself, being greedy, I get some knowledge from them on what their challenges are, what everything else is, and I get to then think about it, and it makes me even smarter as I put more information out there in the world.
Yeah, so the first deal that we did together, there was 2,200 people there.
Yeah.
Next deal, there was 10,000.
Uh-huh.
This time, there'll be 30+ thousand people there.
If somebody's not learning, listen, you're 10Xing yourself every time, right? Think about that. You're 10Xing your goddamn self. So you're proof. You're an example of what you're telling people to do. I love it.
And do you think now, just think about being in the audience, because I know that you're a student as well.
Yeah.
Is that too big? Does it get too big at some point, Damon, where it doesn't feel intimate? I think some people are concerned about that. Is it going to feel intimate? Is it going to, is 35,000 people too big? And am I going to get lost in that? What
Absolutely not, because the information that you're sharing is the fundamentals. And then second of all, when you start to see other people in the room that have the same challenges as you and the same ambitions as you, again, it becomes infectious. If you ever go see Tony Robbins, it's the same thing. You become part of a tribe. You realize that all the people that laughed at you to go to 10X or any other place that you are going, all those people who told you it never was going to work, well, why the hell are they broke? Telling you that, you realize you're in a room full of other people who thought just like you, who had the same haters out in the world, and you said, fuck that to everybody else, and there's a whole room full of people that said, fuck that to everybody else, and that's why they're there.
And how important is it for you as an entrepreneur, right, to get into to be with new audiences, new people, strangers, like people you don't know?
That's the whole reason I really do Shark Tank, right? When you think about it, if I wasn't doing Shark Tank, I'd be doing business the same way that all my colleagues are doing business now, and they're done, right? I'd be doing business the same way that 20 years ago I was doing business, making a shirt. Hopefully Macy sells it. But the reason I'm on Shark Tank is I get to feed off these younger and smarter people and invest in younger and smart people. That's the same reason I come there to do 10X. I've met so many people at a couple of your 10Xs that I actually invested in some of them. Some of them have helped. I even hired 1 or 2 of those people from 10X. So I get to see and be around people who are thinking different. And that's what diversity is. Whether you're diversifying your portfolio or you're diversifying your education or you're diversifying the people that you're around, it's extremely important.
Well, I know that you do a number of speaking gigs every year. What do you do mostly? Big corporate deals? You get invited to a lot of things.
I do probably about 30% corporate, 30% private entities, and then maybe 30% where it's schools, charitable foundations, and things like that.
Yeah, and I'm in the charitable foundation category.
You're in the private sector / school.
Uh-huh. And what's different about those audiences? Because you do a lot more of that than I do. So I'm selfishly asking, what's the difference between moving from a corporation to?
Well, the corporation, they want their people to speak as and think like entrepreneurs, work within the system and be able to grow within the system and create change. And usually it's top management that I'm speaking to, because if top management doesn't pass it down, they always say the fish, stinks at the head. Right? Schools, it's usually, students who want to know, what do I do when I get out of school? All right, I have this education, but the education it's only going to get me in the door. How do I solve problems? How do I think? Whether I'm going to be an entrepreneur or an intrapreneur. And foundations and charitable organizations, it's the same thing. They have a product that they're trying to issue to people and or to get them behind something. So I have to have them think as education. As an entrepreneur, because a lot of them, they may run a business and they only look at it as a charitable business, and the only difference between a charitable foundation and a real business is just the filing on your tax returns, but they still need to run it like a business, because if you can't keep the lights on, then how many people or animals can you help?
Yeah. And how does this, like, when you walk into a room with 35,000 people, Damon, that are coming from around the world, we have 50 plus countries right now represented with seats. Yeah. We have about, just let me give you the breakdown. We have about 4,000 firemen, policemen, military, nurses, and teachers that I funded those seats for.
Nice.
A bunch of students, probably 10% of the audience is Miami, 10 or 15% is Miami run businesses. And the rest of the audience is everywhere from 18 years old to literally 80 years old coming in. Look, we have an 80-year-old coming saying, hey, I need to learn more about sales.
That's right.
So what do you hope to share with those people in the limited time you have there because of your schedule?
Well, first of all, what are the fundamentals? What are you going to invest in first? Of course, you're going to invest in yourself. And then what are the tools and the assets you're going to need, right? How do you expand your network? How do you go get the education to then go and find out what works best for you, right? Those are a couple of things you're going to need. You're gonna also hear, often when you hear speakers like myself, you and various other people, what you do is the thing that attracts you the most, you start to hear more and more and more throughout everybody else speaking. So I may be the one telling you got to get up before everybody else and go to sleep after everybody else. You got to change your habits. Make one key decision this year that's going to change your habits, right? How does money compound? How does friends compound? How do all these things, what do you do with your savings? No, you don't save it. You put it to work. You and I both know that savings is nothing. Cash is a depreciating asset. If you buried $150,000, 30 years ago, then what would it be now when you dig it up? Well, maybe it buys you a Mercedes, right? But if you put it in stocks or bonds or even a nice diamond, what would that diamond be now? It would be $2 million. And your brain is like a diamond. So what are you doing with this cash? You got to find ways to deploy it so it brings you back. Like Kevin O'Leary likes to say, cash is like my little soldiers. They go out and they catch people and they bring them back.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We're talking about all these fundamentals while we're on stage, and you're going to hear the same thing through whether it's myself or you or various other speakers. And then sooner or later, if you keep putting all that good in, good is going to start coming out.
Look, man, you're one of the only people that I'm bringing back this year, okay? I love working with you. You and Russell Brunson are only two dudes I brought back.
I love it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Because I love working with you. I like the way you think. I love our Q&A. It's very easy working with you, right? So, and I know we have some different opinions about some things, which I think is good for the audience to hear.
Absolutely. Listen, no, there's no one way to win.
Yeah.
There's a million ways to get you to win in this game.
And I love, I just know that I've learned a lot watching you collaborate and network with other people, and how you're able to mix and move into many different audiences.
Yeah.
You're like a chameleon like that, man.
Listen,
is that a skill, dude, that people need to be start thinking with 30 days out from the conference? Like, hey, how am I going to move into this conference and network with people? Do you have any tips on how you do that?
Absolutely. So listen, we can always talk about sales, but what is sales, man? It's the fact that you're getting somebody to feel that there's something of value in what you have, and the most important thing to sell is yourself, right? So in all reality, what has ever gotten me wherever I am in life, it was other people that got me. So life is a series of mentors and a series of relationships, and if you really look at it, everybody watching us now and everybody who's going to be at 10X, the reality is, networking is by far the most powerful thing you can do. You see, if you came over to me and said, "Hey, I need a plumber," well, I may not introduce you to my cousin because he screwed me over for the last 10 years. So, and he may be a good plumber, but I don't want him to screw you over. And then all of a sudden, you say, "Hey, your cousin fucked me up, and I'm not dealing with you no more." But if I met somebody at a bar who said, "You know what, I'm a plumber, I have a business, I got 30 people who work for me, here's my card, man, if you ever need me, just let me know," I'll refer that person before my cousin. You know what? Because there's a disclaimer. Hey, I just met this person at a bar, don't really know him that well. You should check him out. And what happens? That's how networking works. I mean, that's the whole reason we even have social media, isn't it? Networking. I like what you're saying. I'm going to share it with other people. I'm going to follow you. I'm going to do what you want because you're going to do what I need at the same time. So networking by far is the most important thing that you can do, and being at 10X around a whole bunch of like-minded people while having an education.
Yeah. How easy, this is kind of a setup question, but how easy does it make it for somebody to network when it's called the 10X Growth Conference?
I mean, that's it. But you got to go out there, whether it's 10X or any place else, you got to sell yourself. You got to make people feel good about you.
Yeah. All I'm saying is the people that are coming there, you said it earlier, they're coming because they want to 10X.
Like-minded people.
Like-minded people.
Yeah, they're there
Yeah.
to find other like-minded people that they can work with.
Yeah.
I see, listen, when I'm out there on the road, because a lot of people, I see them with their 10X stuff on, and they come and talk to me. A lot of them are very successful people. Yeah. I've seen people at your conference that they already are successful themselves, but they're there because they're bringing their significant other or they're bringing a family member.
Yeah, a lot of that.
And then they're saying to themselves, whether they're, "Holy shit, I learned something else."
Yeah. Hey, dude, when you're on the road, do people come up to you and say, "Hey, do you know Grant Cardone?"
Yeah, they do. They usually say, "I really like how you help Grant Cardone. He's a budding entrepreneur, and I just like what you do for him."
Yeah, no shit, guys. Look, everything that I know, everything I'm experiencing, all the great things that are happening in my life, is because of Damon John. Okay.
You're welcome.
And
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. And I don't know how many of you know the story about how I met Damon, but this is classic networking. Like, what do you have to do to lift your brand up and to get close to people that are connected? Damon, there's a lot of people out there starting the first of the year. 2 more things, and I'm gonna let you go, dude. But how important is this happening on February 1st? 30 days into the new year. If you were 30 years old today, and this was your 2019, how important would this date be to you getting your mind on track to go where you want to go?
Well, mentally, you made a commitment already today to take on this journey, in February. Being 30 years old, I think we've all been there. You don't want to be a man who is, broke in 30. You had all these hopes and these dreams, or you may be somebody who's already feeling that way. You may be a female as well. Same thing, man or female, right? New year, new you. It's the beginning of the year. You mentally were set and ready for this in December, because you committed yourself to this. I don't think that anybody coming there should just come there cold. I think you should prepare yourself also. You should read up as much as you can, read up on the speakers, read up on anything you can. Prepare yourself. Know the questions that you want to get some answers to, because whether it's a speaker on stage giving you the answers, or whether it's a person sitting right next to you, have your stuff ready.
Yeah. So what's the intention? You're like, hey, what's my intention? And couldn't I start getting something out of that? You just remind me, like, why wouldn't I start networking right now with people that are going, by going on Facebook saying, who's going? Hey, I'd like to meet you. What are you doing? Is there anything I can do to help you or assist you with? Absolutely. That's what you got. That's what social media is about. The way that Gary says it is give, give, and then sell. And that could be yourself. It doesn't have to be a product. Hey, who's going to 10X? We're going to be out there in beautiful Miami around a whole bunch of like-minded people. What can I do for you? Here's what I'm looking for. Anybody else out there with me? Let's rock out. Let's roll together. Where's your seat at? Where's my seat at? Let's get it together. Yeah. Trust me, you will be amazed at the amount of energy and the people that will feed into and say, I'm going. Let's get together. Let's do this. This guy right here, guys, you got to get a chance to spend time with Damon John. Okay. I know what I had to do to get time with this guy. It's easy. All you got to do is grab your seat at 10xgrowthcon.com. What would you say to somebody that had to borrow money to do this, or they're down to their last $400 or $500 or $1,000? They're already having money trouble. Should they invest in this? Well, they're investing in themselves, right? Yeah. I got to be very honest. I've never, I can't say never, but very, very rarely have I ever co-signed on a place that I'm going to be, because, it's just not in my best interest, right? I should co-sign on only the things that I'm going to do. But I'll be very honest. If, when I was coming up, I used to borrow every single thing I could to go to a Tony Robbins or go to a Jay Abraham or any of those kind of, those kind of conferences. And it changed my life. It really did. You borrowed money personally to go to conferences. I borrowed money personally. I remember selling one of my cars because I wanted to go to a Tony Robbins thing. Not one of my cars. It was my only car at the time. Yeah. Right? Don't be acting like you had a bunch of cars, man. I'd rather take the bus, right? So this is truly investing in yourself. And for me to get on here and tell everybody that I'm telling you, this is amazing. It's 3 days of what you need to know. Trust me on this one. It's very, very powerful. Largest entrepreneur conference ever held in the history of the world, my friend. Is it? Really? Totally. Wow. I didn't even know that. By 10,000 people. Come on, man. Come on, man. Little man. What about promoting GC every once in a while? That's why I'm here, man. Okay. I'm here, baby. Okay. On the holiday, look, nobody else is in my office. I decided, listen, I want to come in. I want to talk to GC, baby. Yeah. I love you, man. I love you. And guys, that's why I'm having this guy back. I love his message. He came from very humble beginnings. I mean, look at the wave he's riding right now. He talked about the wave. Maybe you're starting to ride your wave. Maybe you're trying to find your wave. Maybe your wave is dying out. Every wave dies out, by the way. Yeah, maybe you're reinventing yourself. That's important too. Like every 10 years, you have to find a way to reinvent yourself. And maybe you don't know where the wave is right now. You're out there. Is this going to be the year? How big a year is this going to be for you, Damon? Are you committed right now? Are you thinking about, 2019 BYE, baby, best year ever?
I got some massive changes coming this year. I'm super, super excited. I'm turning the big 50. I know you're like 100. So what did you do 50 years ago when you turned 50?
Dude, I just hope you look as good as I do when you're my age.
You're right about that. I saw you in that onesie, man. You weren't even holding your stomach. You look good on Instagram.
That's right. You saw the package too, huh?
No, I didn't.
You look.
You always look beautiful when you're standing next to that amazingly smart woman. But yeah, I got some major things coming in this year. And again, I'm taking inventory like right now, right? End of the year, what do? I take inventory. I reset my goals. Some expire in 6 months. Some expire in a year, 5 years, and 20 years. I also write down my A goals and my B goals. I try to concentrate just on my A, and I'll get to the B because those are not as important, and I don't want to overload myself. I also write a list. I take inventory of myself. Where are my assets and where are my liabilities? Where are my assets, meaning what friends do I have and what am I doing in life? Is the next 10 years what I want to do? I want to act like I'm only going to be around for 10 more years. So I want to do everything I want to do here. And what are my liabilities? What are the things that I'm weak at? What are the things that I don't like doing? And I've been doing it because other people thought that I should do it. But you know what? Fuck that. I'm not living for everybody else.
Yeah.
I cover those things and I come back the next year excited.
Bam. I can't wait, dude. I can't wait to see you. I appreciate you spending time with me today. Thank you again so much for being willing to give back to this conference and do this. Damon's doing this for no money, just so everybody knows. He's coming down here.
Man, you know what? And be very honest, you took on a really big
beast, baby. It's a beast.
You took on a big undertaking. So the beauty of that is everybody can learn that no matter what level we get to, we have to always challenge ourselves. And you took on a really big challenge, and not only is going to, give you that satisfaction, know you did it, but it's going to educate a lot of other people.
Yeah.
To go out.
What are they saying out there on the streets, man? Cardone taking on a 35,000 person event.
Yeah, they're basically saying that I would never want to do that. Why would he do that? That's a huge, huge undertaking. You can go and just publicly speak like I do. I'm speaking to 35,000 people myself, but that's a year full of speaking.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's a big undertaking, man.
Well, hey, just to give you just to drop a little fear up in your ass, because I know it makes you feel good. Look, the stadium, the what's it called? The stage is massive.
Yeah.
Dude, it's massive. Huh?
I'm a moonwalk on that bad boy.
Let me tell you just something. What you need to think about is what's behind you. 9,000 square feet of LED.
Nice.
9,000 square feet. That's 10 apartment homes that I rent. So
that's a lot.
It's massive, dude. You're gonna be the biggest you've ever been, bro. It's gonna be freaking massive.
That's great. I'm going to get my poses ready for stage.
Okay. Yeah, and you
my
got
sizzle reel.
30 days to get all leaned out.
No, I'm not going to do that.
No?
I'm just going to get up there like this, baby.
Yeah, you got that movie thing. Okay, Damon John, February 1st, 2nd, 3rd. He'll be at the conference with you. Damon, if you got a little extra time to stick around town, dude, and have a drink with me the night after you speak, I sure would like that.
Absolutely. I love you, and tell everybody else out there watching right now, happy holidays. Be safe. We love you all. Stay healthy, and we're going to see you at 10X.
Yeah, and we will make this the best year ever. I'm committed. Damon John's committed. We'll do what we can on our end. Damon, thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, grab your seats, folks. 10xgrowthcon.com, 10xgrowthcon.com. Heroes, firemen, policemen, nurses, teachers, all military, active and inactive in this country and outside. We still have a handful of those seats. Go to grantcardone.com/heroes. Grab your seat for free. Entrepreneurs, get to the conference. Damon John, I love you, dog. Love you like a brother, man. Okay? Okay, you guys, I'll see you there. Okay, make 2019 your best year ever.
I want you to have an experience that you will never, ever forget. We want to make this a big event for you. Our goal is to change your lives. This is what you have to go through. Anybody can be 1X or 2X. To get to these multipliers, to blow the roof off of your life and career to 10X in your business.
The greatest entrepreneurial conference on the planet.
Last year, I was in the negative, and now I'm here, man. I turned my business around, and now I'm trying to get to that next level.
We went from sleeping on an office floor 6 years ago to now running a multi-million-pound business, all from grants material.
10X your lives, 10X touch the lives of the people around you. Give more than you take, and I promise you, you will get more than you ever dreamed of.
I'm excited. I'm pumped. You know, there's very few of my fellow speakers that, I get excited about taking the stage with. I'm about to take it with Grant Cardone at the 10X conference, and he always throws some really good questions at me, and I always keep asking him, how's he going to 10X me? You'll see. Sales is by far the #1 reason why companies exist. The world has the opportunity to buy anything from anybody in the world. We pick out our iPhone, we pull out our iPhone, we can buy anything. Why am I buying it from you? There's only 2 ways to operate a business: reduce costs and increase sales. There's only 3 ways, and I've shared this with you before, to deal with a potential or a customer. There's only 3 ways to deal with them: acquire a new one, upsell a current one, or make one buy more frequently. But all that is sales.
Say that again. You said a couple of things.
Acquire.
Only 2 ways.
Only 2 ways to operate a business.
Yeah.
Reduce costs.
Reduce costs.
Or increase sales. That's it. Only 3 ways to deal with the customer: acquire a new one, upsell a current one, or make one buy more frequently. That's it. You know, I'm a guy who came from the streets. I'm going to talk about it in a very simple way, not this high level, you know what I mean, into this stuff. Just like for everyday people to understand. And if you understand these simple basics and fundamentals, then you can build upon it and make sure you do it your way.
So when you're evaluating a company, like in Shark Tank, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I'm like, how these guys are buying these companies? Okay. So I don't know how much of that you can tell me.
I can tell you a little bit.
You can?
Yeah.
I love it, man. So like when I watch you do it, it seems pretty simple. You're like either interested in it or not. It either fits your
Well, no, because you got to think about it like this. Half of those pitches are anywhere from 45 minutes to 2.5 hours. You're going to see 8 minutes of it, and that's 8 minutes of it, and they have 24 cameras shooting all of us, shooting each other, whatever. So they technically have about 24 hours worth to narrow down to 8 minutes. So my thought process is going through various things, and you're only seeing a little bit of it. Often somebody will come on Shark Tank, and I will say, man, I hate this idea. And then all of a sudden they'll talk about the number of sales they have and where they sold it, and all of a sudden, wait a minute, I'm the idiot here. You know what I mean? I didn't realize how good it is, right? Yeah. And then others, I would say this is the greatest thing ever. However, I realized that I am not a good partner for this because I don't see the vision. I always joke about Lori, but I'm serious. She is what we call the flea market of Shark Tank. If it's $20 in plastic, she's gonna sell it, right? She sells more plastic than Happy Meals at McDonald's, right? That's Lori, that's her thing. And I remember somebody coming on with a little clip that you put on the edge of your shirt or suit or blouse, and it's to hold your glasses in case you fall down. Now, Tommy Bahama, myself, many designers have been making a little hole in the top of the pockets to put glasses in. So I said, this is crap, it'll never work. However, Lori's been selling reading glasses for 15 years to a consumer base that supports her. She goes on and buys this little piece of crap, and she's done $10 million worth of this garbage. Wow. And I hate her.
You hate her.
You know, I think the lesson we can learn from this is all of you who are trying to raise capital, find partners, make sure you're not so eager to make sure the partner only is a dollar partner and they're not a strategic partner, and what's in it for you. How will you value it? Now, if you're going out and you're raising like Brandon shows you how to get capital from the bank, then okay, the return is interest that they will get paid upon. But if you're looking for strategic partners and they don't see the value in your company, they can actually hinder you because that's a percentage you're giving away to somebody who's not going to bring value to you when you could have gave it away to somebody's going to pay and they're going to bring value. So be very conscious of where you get money from. All money's not good money.
What does that mean, all money is not good money?
Well, all the money's not good money. If you came to me and you said, hey, I'm doing that glasses, those type of deal, then I would say, okay, here's your $200,000 that you're asking for, but then you call me and say, well, can you help me get to the reading glasses market, or the optical market? I said, I don't know anybody there. You should have done a deal and taken $100,000 instead from somebody else who said, I'm a distributor, I'm a manufacturer.
So you're saying the guy I sold you a piece of my business.
Yeah, and then
you can't actually help me.
I can't help you.
So you're saying all money's not good money.
All money's not good money. Also, don't take your money too soon.
That's what I was going to ask you. And would a person be better off than selling a piece of the business, be better off taking a loan out?
Taking a loan out, doing other things. OPM doesn't have to be other people's money. It could be other people's manufacturing, mind power, manpower, marketing. You know, when I first got an order for $15,000 t-shirts, I remember going over and saying, all right, the store, they didn't want to give me, I didn't have the money. They didn't want to give me the money straight up because I would have bought a brand new Hyundai. You know what I mean? If you would give me $50,000 at that time. I went over to my screen printer. He was making my shirts for $6. I said, do me a favor. I'll give you $7 if you make the shirts for me and you're going to deliver them directly to the store. The store will pay you. I don't have the money in advance. But the screen printer said, all right, I was normally making X, now I'm going to make more on it. I know this kid ain't got the money, but I know the store has the money, and that store also may come and use me for other screen printing. The store said, I trust the business who's been around, not the kid. Okay, what did it cost me? I wouldn't have had those sales anyway. It didn't cost me anything on my company.
Do you guys understand what he just laid out there? So, and now how did you come up with that creativity?
Because I was broke.
Yeah.
And I had to.
And you were committed to another outcome.
I had to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
And many of us do the same thing. We go out and we say we want these orders, and what happens? You may end up getting an order.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what the hell did I do?
Yeah.
How am I going to figure this out?
How much creativity do you think comes, and I was interested because Sara Blakely was here this morning.
Into what?
Sarah was here, and I was like, I wonder how much different she's running her company today when she has money as opposed to when she had $5,000. How much of a disability is money? Because I think a lot of people think if they had money, it'd all be great.
Huge disability, huge. That's why I wrote Power Broke, because once I started to make a lot of money, I went and started acquiring companies, and I decided to do exactly what I had not done before. I bought the high-priced marketing agency. I bought all these big salespeople and all these other people who promised to sell stuff. But you know, if you don't roll up your sleeves and you dig into it yourself, you don't know what people are telling you the truth or not. And $6 million later, I realized that I blew the money. Now I figure it out, even now, today.
And if you didn't have that money then, would you have still figured it out but not lost the $6 million?
I would have figured it out. I would have figured it out. You know, money becomes, you know, and also, you know, let me tell you something. When your business is suffering and you're like, well, let me just spend more advertising, and the salespeople and everybody else are like, well, you know what else you need to do? No, you need to sell. Right? Stop telling me. All you're selling me is how long I should keep paying you.
Yeah.
Right? You need to go and take your ass out and sell. And you need to know how to sell personally yourself.
The CEO?
The CEO has to sell.
But the CEO's a CEO. I mean, shouldn't the CEO be some guy in an office delegating and telling people what to do?
Yeah, I mean, they should be, or they could also be a guy who now has to leverage everything they have in their life because they weren't on the front line selling. You know, they were showing up at the trade show a day late and leaving a day early, right? They were letting their CMOs and all these other people who are number crunchers tell you about all the beautiful things. Oh, we need to do a photo shoot in the Bahamas. No, we need to show a photo shoot in Harlem. You know, I ain't got it like that.
That you would, if you had a bunch of money sitting around,
you said, yeah, but
when I read The Power of Broke, I'm like, because Elena kind of blames me sometimes for being broke all the time, or kind of poor, like, you know. I'm like, dude, we don't have any money. I got rid of it. Damon John said there's power in being broke.
I think power in being broke.
Yeah.
You know, like we fundamentally disagree and value other things, right? And then we fundamentally love other things. When I see him on his private jet, I'm like, what the hell is he doing?
Oh, really?
I laugh at you.
You think it's stupid, huh?
Well, you know, here's the way I think about it. A round trip to California is $60,000 when you use a private jet, right? Now, I'm going to use JetBlue. I'm going to lay in the bed there. They have a couple of mint, drinks there. The waitress is going to come by. Waitress is not necessarily on the private jet, unless you book it or not. I mean, I use private, don't get me wrong, about 20% of the time, in case I need to bring my whole staff. I need to get there in a timely manner. Or the check is big enough to get that damn flight. But if I'm going to spend, if I can bring me and maybe 2 or 3 other people for $5,000, and I get there, maybe my travel time is about 3 hours, 4 hours different. And it's costing me an average of, I'm saving $55,000 times 4. I'm getting paid about $15,000 an hour to sit around. Now times that.
Remember how
10 years.
Remember how I met him. Can you imagine me calling you? Hey, you want to fly to Vegas and JetBlue with me?
I would still never you though.
Come on, man.
I would still never you.
We wouldn't even know each other.
Yes,
right
we
now.
would.
It was a great investment.
Now, as I was saying,
it's a great investment.
You know, but
Wait,
however, I say all that, but we both operate in different ways, and that's the beauty of Shark Tank. You have a bunch of sharks up there who believe fundamentally different things, and if that is where his quality of life is that he wants to be, then it's okay. Now, don't get me wrong, I spend some good money on some real stupid shit myself, but you know, it's just some different stupid shit.
Okay. Yeah. You've been to my offices, and you know I have a lot of diversity.
Yes.
And I know you believe in that. What is the importance of people hiring from the whole pool of available talent in the world?
So diversity comes in various different things. It comes in not only race, but religion, but also age. Right? Age diversity, bringing in more mature individuals who've been through it, and bringing in some of these kids who are 17 years old and they're communicating around the world in totally different ways. I think diversity is the mother of innovation. You know, because you and I, we may see things together, and it's fine. I grew up with you, but when I realize that another person on the other side of the planet who grew up totally different ways sees value in something else we're doing, or they go, you know what, you should have thought about it like this. That's what makes us so great. That's what makes the country great, you know. And I know we're going through a tough time, not getting into politics now, but diversity is actually what creates innovation by far. You know, if you're talking amongst yourselves all the time, then you never get out of that ivory tower, you never get out there to see what's going on, then you're the one who's ignorant, right? So my company is extremely diverse. Female, males, young kids, old kids, Indian, Korean, Asians, you know, African Americans, Caucasians, and diversity has probably been the #1 reason for my success. You know, my father left when I was 10 years old. My mother ended up, you know, bringing somebody in my life as my stepfather, and he happened to be of the Jewish faith, right? And at that time, you know, us cultures, we believed various different things. You know, I thought, you know, white people walked on water. They don't have any problems. So a lot of times growing up in the hood, the people in authority are calling you the N-word, right? So you never respect or value them. And because you feel they don't value you. Well, he taught me two things when he came in my life. He taught me that #1, love doesn't come in color or gender. And white people are just as screwed up as everybody else, right? And that would allow me to walk in a room, and walk in a room as a man, not a black man, not a minority, not anybody else, because he always told me, Damon, you better be pro-black, but never anti-anything else. And if we look at any kind of social upbringing or even the civil rights war or anything, it was always many diverse people coming together for one common cause, and that creates innovation.
So like when you look at somebody to bring, do you still hire people for your company? I mean,
I do. I try to keep my company under 100 people, and most of my people, probably 70 or 80% of my people, started off in one fashion or form as an intern. They either started as a college intern, well, got credit, or they started as a person who was a professional in another industry, and they didn't come in an intern. That's illegal. They would say something like, I'm used to getting this amount of salary, but you know what? I'm gonna come in and give you 3 months. I'm gonna bust my ass for this amount of salary because I'm gonna show you what I can do. The president of my company, Ted, started as an intern. Right? You see back here, he's an intern. They almost all start as interns because when you're showing up before the people that are supposed to get paid show up, and you're leaving after the people are supposed to get paid leave, I need you to work for me.
And that adds to the culture
that
you're building as well, right?
And it sets a good standard, absolutely. Yeah. Well, a lot of the tips I've learned is successful people, we are selfish in a good way. We take care of ourselves first. You don't look at Michael Jordan and wonder how he beat LeBron and wonder how they become so good because they went to everybody else to practice. They practiced their asses off themselves, became the best athlete they could do, and then they can go and contribute to the team. And if you're not selfish yourself, when you wake up in the morning, then you end up chasing everybody else's dream. And I say this, and I can't tell you how many people say it's changed their lives. Do not answer emails for the first hour of the day when you wake up. Because if you answer emails, all you're doing is answering everybody else's problems. How many of you got that email in the morning that said, I solved everything that I was asking you about yesterday and I got $1 million check heading your way? That don't happen. Right? Don't go on social media, even Grant's and mine, in the first hour of the day. Why?
Not his. Come on, man.
I'll tell you why you can't go on Grant. Because what's going to happen is you're going to go on there and then you're going to stay on there. Then you're going to start looking at the funny stuff and everything else. Because here's what happens. If you wake up in the morning with all these problems from everybody else on your email, right? And then you take another hour looking at everybody on social media who is, sexier, prettier, having a better time than you when they're all screwed up. You end up having all these worries of the world and then getting depressed from all this other stuff. And you stop thinking about yourself. Also, prioritize your personal life and your health and your family. Make a schedule to call your mothers, kiss your mother, go to dinner with your daughters. One of my friends, and this is great for you because I didn't know this, I didn't have this technique in my life. When my two girls were growing up, my two oldest girls, my friend made sure that he takes each one of his daughters out on a date every 2 months, just one at a time. Because he said, if I don't take my daughters out on a date, how are my daughters ever going to know how a man is supposed to treat them, right? Think about that, right? Absolutely.
Plays the people shark. He's the favorite shark on Jerkin. Is that true? Most popular?
I don't know, but
they just think
my mother says I am, but schedule that time with your family. Why? Because you're scheduling everybody else. You're scheduling what time you got to be on the train or the plane, the conference call, what time you got to do lunch, what time you got to be at the restaurant with a bunch of other people that you don't like. But you're not scheduling time to be with your husband or your wife or your children because you're thinking that's impersonal. However, you'll turn around and 20 years will pass and the kid's out. You have a failing relationship. You got to be selfish. You got to know who you are. And who are you? Have you taken that hour a day or 2 hours every month or week and say, am I who I wanted to be when I was growing up? Did I fulfill my dreams? Because many of you went to school because society told you were supposed to do this, or your parents said, our house is like this. You end up being in a career that you never wanted to be in because you never took time to see who you wanted to be and write out that chart of who you want to be. Right? Come on, man. If you're going to do it, do it. I mean, I like to
I want you to have an experience that you will never, ever forget. We want to make this a big event for you. Our goal is to change your lives. This is what you have to go through. Anybody can be 1X or 2X. To get to these multipliers, to blow the roof off of your life and career to 10X in your business.
The greatest entrepreneurial conference on the planet.
Last year, I was in the negative, and now I'm here, Mac. I turned my business around, and now I'm trying to get to that next level.
We went from sleeping on an office floor 6 years ago to now running a multi-million-pound business, all from grants material.
10X your lives. 10X the lives of the people around you. Give more than you take, and I promise you, you will get more than you ever dreamed of.